Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. As part of the next labor deal with players, Major League Baseball wants a maximum contract length of 5 years for free agents who are switching teams, while an organization could sign its own player for up to 6 years, calling it a cornerstone provision. MLB also wants to raise the minimum salary from $780,000 to $1 million in 2027 for players with at least 2 years of service time. Anthony Edwards is going to have a ball on the court thanks to his new co-star. Timberwolves are getting the co-star for Edwards they have been trying to land for years, acquiring guard LaMelo Ball and Josh Green from Charlotte for center Naz Reid and a series of picks, reports ESPN's Shams Charania.
I know internally in Minnesota, they really feel like LaMelo Ball is going to come in and take advantage of having Jaden McDaniels on the wing,
right,
and Rudy Gobert at center. They love, you said his name, Jaron Pierre. They love this kid.
Yep.
He's going to get a larger role next season.
WNBA suspended Phoenix's Alyssa Thomas one game for making contact with her fist to the throat of Indiana's Caitlin Clark in last night's game. Thomas will serve the suspension on Saturday.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Friday, the Wolves have gone all in to keep Anthony Edwards happy, but I'll tell you why the LaMelo Ball trade will backfire. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing. Not today in the Raising Cane studio. We're here at Marucci Hitter's house, one of our favorite homes away from home, and thrilled to be here for the next 3 hours, so thanks for hanging out with us. The NBA draft is in the rearview mirror. We will get reaction. Scott Kushner in 15 minutes. Ross Jackson is here next hour. We got some really interesting tidbits on the LSU football team, including a potential flip that we're going to talk about as well, as it is commit season, as Shea Dixon might say. But let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
All right, let's begin with the NBA draft. The Pelicans, as we know, had just one pick. They did not, in fact, make a trade. They did use the 58th overall pick late in round 2, and this is how it sounded.
With the 58th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Jaron Pierre Jr. from Southern Methodist University.
All right, so Jaron Pierre, the really interesting part about Pierre is he's coming home. This is a St. Aug kid. He's from New Orleans, went to St. Aug, finished up his college career at SMU this year. He's 23 years old, goes into the draft, and is picked up by his hometown New Orleans Pelicans. We are going to get a little more info on Pierre, how this all factors in. Billy Embody covered Pierre at SMU. He's going to be with us in 90 minutes from right now. But when we look at Pierre and how he may fit here with the New Orleans Pelicans, there's a couple of things that I like. His personal coach, Rory Papillon, raved about the work ethic for Jaron Pierre.
I mean, Jaron Pierre, he's one of those guys that, loves being in the gym, whether it's before or after practice. So we used to finish high school practice, man, and he would just, ask me, Coach, can we get 100 mates? Coach, can we get a few hundred mates? Coach, can we put in work before? Coach, can we put in work after? So he was always eager to learn the game and always eager to get better. So, that's one of the biggest things is, loving the game, but also loving the process and staying consistent and committed to it.
Love to hear that. And we'll learn more about Jaron Pierre and how he fits. But let's just be honest. When you're 58th pick of the draft in the back of round 2, those are not guaranteed contracts. It's seldom those guys make a roster. So he's got an uphill climb to make this team. We'll see if he can. And you look at some of the grades that are out after the draft now. Yahoo gave New Orleans a C. ESPN gave New Orleans a D on the draft. I think that probably has less to do with Jaron Pierre and just sort of the residual effect of last year's decision to move from the 23rd pick to the 13th pick, giving up this year's one, which became the 8th pick, which went to Atlanta. So all New Orleans was able to do is add a late second-round pick. But with trades aplenty, Naz Reid being part of a trade today involving LaMelo Ball, it is highly likely that New Orleans is not done yet with their roster for next year. So there'll be plenty of offseason work to do still to restructure this roster into one that can be a contender, as New Orleans looks like they're not interested in a rebuild. They're pressing forward. We'll see if Jaron Pierre is part of that. So we will talk to Scott Kushner will be with us here in about a dozen minutes from right now. We'll talk to Scott. The other story that I wanted to hit on, you might have noticed that LSU Baseball lost a commitment. Colton Christman is his name. He's a left-handed pitcher out of Las Vegas. And I get it, like most people don't follow deeply a baseball recruiting. So when I talk about a left-handed pitcher out of Las Vegas, it may not be someone whose name you've heard before. There might be many people who only heard Colton Christman's name when he decommitted. But I'm not here really to talk about Christman or what that means. Look, LSU needs lefties, and they'll certainly get them, be it portal or incoming players. But I kind of want to do some math with you. I hate math. I'm terrible at math, but this is going to be easy math that even an idiot like I can do. So when you think about this decommitment, in terms of numbers, it makes sense. So follow me. If you look at LSU's roster from a year ago, when you look at guys that are out of eligibility, guys that have already entered the transfer portal, guys that are likely to be drafted and signed like Curiel and Brown and Sheeran and Garcia, my best guess is that LSU should return 18 players from this year's roster, 18. You've got 24 high school signees, now 23 with Christman decommitting. And of those 23, I think they probably expect 13 to 14 to make it to campus. Let's say you lose 9 or 10 of them to the draft. So if you go 18 returning and 14 freshmen, that puts you at 32. Remember, the House settlement set roster limits. It got away with 11.7. So everyone that's on the roster gets a scholarship, but they set the roster limit at 34. So if you have 18 returning and 14 freshmen that actually make it to campus, that puts you at 32. And you've already added 6 players via the portal. That puts you at 38. And this week, they're hosting a lefty, a righty. There was the report from Pete Nakos of On3 that they're pursuing Angel Leia from Oregon. I mean, you're talking about now pushing closer to 40. So you can kind of do the math now, right? Like you don't have enough roster spots. Now, there's one caveat, okay? There's one exception, and it's the DSA tag. So the DSA tag, we've talked about this before, but for those who aren't familiar, I'll remind you. A DSA is a designated student athlete tag, and this was part of the House settlement. It was designed to make sure guys and gals, depending on the sport, didn't lose their roster spot because of roster limits. So think about baseball. If in a year ago where you had higher roster limits and you had players like with the extra COVID year that were granted extra eligibility, you might have had rosters that pushed 40 people. Well, if all of a sudden now House settlement goes into play and the hard cap roster is 34, well, there might be athletes that you'd like to keep on your roster, but you're over 34, so what do? Like those guys just out of luck? You cut them? Well, so the NCAA allowed in that House settlement a DSA tag, a designated student athlete tag, where that player, as long as you tagged them last year, would not, for the duration of their college career, count against the eligibility or the roster limit. So my point was they should have DSA'd everybody on last year's roster. So none of them would ever, for the duration of their career, count against the 34. Now, I don't know if LSU did that. They might have, and so that could alleviate some of the numbers. But just when you look at what we know, the players returning, the portal players coming in, and the freshmen that you have signed and are likely to end up on campus, you're over 34. So Colton Christman decommitting, I'm using air quotes here, is more likely a situation where the LSU coaching staff is looking at the bottom of their class and saying, hey, man, look, we may not have a roster spot for you. So it's probably a better idea for you right now to reopen your recruitment and see what's out there, which is a great thing to do here at the end of June because it gives him the month of July before the draft, while other programs are looking at who they might lose, maybe players that went in a portal and someone needs a left-handed pitcher. It gives him a month and a half before school starts in August to find a new spot to go enroll and be part of fall ball. So the timing of that, I thought, it's more than likely a situation where the LSU coaching staff said, hey, look, we're probably not going to have a spot for you. You need to go find. It's being purged. It's a rude way of saying it, but it's a reality of the situation. So, and when you do the math, as I just spelled it out there for you, there's probably got to be more. Because if you do, in fact, get, say, 14 members of your freshman class to campus, and you've already added 6 portal guys, either some of those freshman signees or some guys on the current roster aren't going to be back. Now, you can carry a higher number in fall, but you're going to have to get that number in line by the time you open up the season in the spring. So just something to percolate and keep an eye on it. Don't be surprised if you see more attrition of guys leaving the roster, be it high school players that have been committed or guys currently on the roster that end up entering the portal. Remember, the portal is open for the month of June, so you got 5 more days with the portal open for players to enter their name in the portal. Don't be surprised if we see even more attrition as LSU's building the roster for 2027. All right, it's After Further Review. Show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. 4th of July is right around the bend, and they do have those special edition cases of Bud Light honoring Folds of Honor. I've told you about this before. Ever since Folds of Honor came into practice, it's a great organization which funds scholarships for the children of fallen servicemen and women. For a portion of the proceeds of all sales goes to Folds of Honor. So if you see those a special edition Bud Light boxes with the Folds of Honor logo on it, know that when you grab that case of Bud Light with the Bud and Bud Light with the Folds of Honor logo on it, you're supporting the families of our fallen servicemen and women. So happy 4th of July and drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Okay, it is After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here on a Monday edition. Excuse me, on a third. Oh, it is not Monday. On a third. I need my vacation so bad. On a Thursday edition of AFR, we're here at Marucci Hitter's house, and our Thursday shows, as always, are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We'll now get a quick break. Our buddy Scott Kushner will join us next, longtime Pelicans columnist. Let him react to what the Pelicans did in the draft and what might be ahead now, considering they really didn't do anything in the draft. That's next. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Duplessis Builders. DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. That's where you can find them online at DuplessisPools.com. I often say that at Duplessis, it's a higher quality attention to detail. Their workmanship is what allows them to give you a 10-year workmanship warranty. They take the time to do it right at Duplessis Pools. Well, part of that is, after the excavation, right, when they dig the hole, they shoot gunite on day 2 or 3, and then they will not move on to the next step because the curing requirements for concrete is 21 days. So they will not move on to the next step for 21 days. So if someone tells you they can build your pool in 2 or 3 weeks, they skipping steps, y'all. You want it done right? A beautiful pool that will last with a 10-year workmanship warranty? You want Duplessis Pools. Check them out online. Start that process today. It's DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the offseason. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our Lay of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the Lake.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
We roll along here from Marucci's Hitter's House. NBA draft is in the rearview mirror. The Pelicans had just one pick. They select Jaron Pierre in the back of round 2 at the 58th overall pick. Our buddy Scott Kushner, longtime Pelicans columnist and podcaster, media guy extraordinaire, good enough to hop aboard with us because I know he's never short on opinions when it comes to this franchise. Scott, how are you, man?
I'm fantastic. I'm at your Hitter's House. I got one right by my house down in Metairie, too.
Let's go, bro. Hitter's House is a great spot, man. Cages everywhere, gear. Brings me right back to my youth, man. Come on. Hey, next time I'm here, come on up. I'll even pay for you to take some hacks in the cage. It's worth the trip to Baton Rouge. How about that? Don't go by the one by your house. Just come up here.
I'll bring my 6-year-old. We practically live there. It's great.
We'll have a great time. Okay. Pelicans draft grade. What you got?
What is it? An N/A? Is that the not applicable? It failed to complete the test? No. it's like the kid who, stares at the test for 10 minutes and then just walks into the teacher and then walks out of the room. I'm sorry. No, they didn't really do anything. They drafted a player who, 58's the definition of a flyer, right? And maybe he'll sell some tickets for the Lake Town Squadron. I think that might be the biggest upside at 58 that you can get. But they've done this before. They didn't have a first-round pick a couple times under Del Debs in that era. So it's not as if it's new to this franchise, but it really is. It is a night that is 2 nights now essentially are meaningless for the team because they might end up still making a big move this offseason. Like, there's still time. I think there's a lot of people have sort of flushed it because so much hype was there leading up to the draft. But really, as far as draft night, I just don't think they got the value they were expecting for their own pieces. And they wanted to move up. I think they made it pretty clear they wanted to move up and move into the draft. There was just really never an opportunity that they saw as making the sense that it did last year, which they paid a king's ransom essentially just to move up a few places last year, and this year they just didn't see it.
So, great segue. So clearly they wanted multiple ones for either Trey Murphy or Herb Jones. What do you think about their decision not to move off their valuation of their players?
I think that's wise right now, especially if there's a lot of chatter. They really value Nate Ament, and I think he went at 10. That's Milwaukee, and it's like if you couldn't get ahead of that without getting anything of value back for it. Like, and also, you're taking a risk. Like, Nene might be a top 5 pick if he had come out the prior year or the year after, but as far as this draft, he was 10, and it's like they really thought there was value there, and it just didn't turn out that their players had as much as they thought. And sometimes it's just the way it goes, and this team is not in a position where they want to let the whole thing implode, win 15 games, and then get to next year's draft. And so you can't just give away your players in an attempt to be bad. Like, there's really just no side for that anymore. And so if they're not going to get any value back for it, there really is no point. There was a time when just simply having a fire sale for the sake of having a fire sale and starting over actually was a viable NBA strategy. And with the new lottery odds and really being one of the 3 worst teams in the league is now a penalty against you. And so there was really no reason to make that move unless you were going to get something that you want.
Is their approach, Scott, as it appears that they are not in tear down rebuild mode? Do you feel that's the right approach?
They have never, ever really been in that mode because of the way that the franchise is situated and the way that the way the market is. They've just never felt comfortable going and just raising the entire thing and building from the ground up. And really, in order to do that, you would have to think that you're going to get a top 3, top 4 pick. Even in a year like this, where it was a deep, good draft, you would need a better pick than the just 10 in order to really think you could do that. They've got pieces that they think are good players. I think they now have a coach that they believe in, who they want to give a reasonable chance to. I think it would make sense from the way we've seen every other NBA team practically get built from a market like New Orleans is usually starting from somewhere close to the bottom or the very bottom and then building your way up through the draft. Or you have to make a really big trade, like Indiana for Tyrese Halliburton or something. The Pelicans kind of aren't doing any of those things right now. And it's a very this middling position that, middling I think would be a huge improvement over in the last 2 years. But yeah, they really aren't going to do it. And with these new lottery odds, it is very much a wait and see of what the approach and what the incentive structure actually looks like as these teams try to build their way out of mediocrity.
Scott Kushner is our guest. So let's talk about what a trade might look like, because I think we agree, like, they're not done trying to fix this roster. You're not running it back with the same crew that won 26 games. So look, we saw LaMelo Ball traded.
Who knows?
What's that?
Who knows? Who knows? It's possible they could do it. I mean, I don't know.
I guess it's possible, but Scott, I could also say, look, as evidenced by the fact that they were at least willing to entertain the possibility of trading either Trey Murphy or Herb Jones in this draft, they are very clearly looking and recognizing, okay, we're going to do something to improve this roster. So we saw Naz Reid, LaMelo Ball swap. Isaiah Stewart got traded to the Grizzlies. There's a report out there from ESPN that the Celtics are actively trying to trade Jaylen Brown. Is that something you think is realistic?
It is realistic in that the Celtics have kind of stepped the line, right? For the, this is a great core. Porter's won a ton of games in Boston, won a championship in Boston. But once you cross that line into this guy's in trade talks, and he's been one of your biggest pieces in the history of, the last 20 years of the franchise, it's very hard to come back from that. And so once you start realizing that Boston might have gone to the point of no return, that Jaylen Brown could be available. And Jaylen Brown, I think, almost immediately would be the most decorated player in franchise history upon his arrival. They've really not had anybody like him come to New Orleans. The amount of All-NBA players, the amount of All-NBA teams he's made, All-Star teams, championship, all those things, they've never had anybody like that. So the concept of it, I could see ownership being, cheering that on if Joe Dumars is able to make that move or wants to make that move. And I don't think this team is afraid of giving up long-term in exchange for short-term either. That's not going to be something that scares them off of making a move. Like, I think they would trade first. They traded an unprotected first-round pick last year. Now, it was for a rookie, so it's a little different, but I do think they are willing to make big moves on evaluations that they feel are right. And look, you're going to give Mosley a chance. You're going to give Dumars a chance. Like, you immediately put yourself into at least a position of the playoffs if you go make a move like that. And you've got a lot of pieces that have a bunch of big money tied to them, so you can cobble together the finances properly to make a move like that. And look, I would agree you have to break up this group. I think this is the least relevant this team has been since they've been here. I mean, Matt, would you agree? I know you're in Baton Rouge, but like, it feels like no one is even talking about them as if they don't exist half the time. And you're going, you got to do something. You can't win 22 games in back-to-back years and keep rolling the same guys out there and think that it's going to get better. It's certainly just in a lot. So much is predicated on Zion's health for so long. And Zion was fairly healthy. And guess what? He's not that good. And the unknown of him actually probably held you back longer than you should have as a franchise, because you kept thinking like, oh, once this guy plays, we've got a 50-win team. And it's like, you don't.
Yeah.
He's just not that guy. And so now I do think you need to see a major change. He is probably the most obvious candidate to move, but I don't think he fetches anywhere near the value that they initially believed he would be worth maybe, 365 days ago.
Yeah. You talked about have they ever been less relevant? The hard part is you win 26 games and then you don't have a first-round pick to generate any type of excitement around who that might be. And so you do just get sort of discarded to the wasteland. If I asked you, and I don't know that you've given this a ton of thought, Scott, so it's okay if you don't have specifics, but if I asked you what type of deal would you want to do, a player you target or a position, or what player you would like to move and maybe what you'd like to get in return, what would something like that look like, even broad structure?
I honestly do think, and I know that the Pelicans have continued to say no publicly. Like, that's still every time the rumor has started for Ja Morant, there's been a lot of hand waving from the Pelicans basically saying no. And look, I get it. He comes with a whole bunch of problems, most of them off the court. But look, he can be had for a very cheap price as far as moving off your good players. You do not have to move a lot of players. You can probably just move a couple of picks and maybe even couple is a stretch. Like, Memphis is trying to move off of this guy who is otherworldly talented, who has shown he can take a team and push them into the postseason. Like, the risk to get him is low. The risk when he's on the team is that he could be a disaster. But look, they're a disaster right now. The Pelicans are the exact type of team who should make a move like that, where it is very low risk and very high reward. And if it's terrible, guess what? You're terrible anyway.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference? And it's the same. I just feel like there's a lot of caution when some of these guys are worried about their job or whatever. It's like, who cares? Go try to make a move to make yourself better. But Joe Dumars has been in the NBA forever. He'll make a big move, try to be relevant, try to do something. And Jaylen Brown, I think, would be along the same vein, but he would be significantly more costly to the roster that you currently have. Whereas Ja Morant, I think you could get back for very little. And I do think he fits a lot of the holes that you have right now. Now, not defensively, but you could do a lot offensively between him and Zion and Murray. I mean, you're going to have, especially if Trey Murphy's still there to spread out the court, like, you would have some real options there. And you could get him for next to nothing, considering they're basically trying to give him away. Look, if you're an established playoff team or a team that you think is one move away from making the finals or something, yeah, you probably don't go after a wild card like Ja Morant, who's, filling up strip clubs with $1 bills. The Pelicans are not in that place. The Pelicans are a team that should be going and trying to find any strike of lightning that will help them go from the 14th best team in the West to the 8th best team in the West. That would be a humongous improvement. All I heard was endorsement deals on Bourbon Street. That's all I heard you say just now. I don't know that this could fit any better. He's Scott Kushner. We appreciate it, man. Thank you thank you always for the depressing chat, but trying to bring some levity to a terrible situation. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
All right, we'll see you. It's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're here at Marucci's Hitter's House. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. ParishRestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. Tell you every single day. They'll come by. Jim Woodworth and the gang. They'll always give you that free estimate. You can start on the website at ParishRestoration.com. If you have or have had water intrusion as a result of the rain and the storms, I mean, you see a water spot on your ceiling, chances are that didn't show up today. Like, the spot maybe showed up today, but how long was water dripping in your roof? Well, maybe you have wet insulation, and because it's wet and humid, that's a breeding ground for mold. Like, don't risk it. Call Parish Restoration. They'll come spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. They'll knock out mold, mildew, other harmful pathogens, odor. It's great treatment. It's effective. It's cost effective. Man, they can get your house fogged in half a day. Check them out, ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com. All right, we appreciate Scott, as always, for joining us. Love having conversations with Scott. He's got great perspective, and he's unapologetically honest when talking about this franchise, which, I mean, I want them to be good so bad. I want them to be relevant so badly because I do like the NBA, and there's the professional part of my job, which is I would love to have another team that's relevant that people cared about that we talk about because we've seen it spurts. In 2008, that team that went to the Western Conference semifinals and went to a Game 7 with San Antonio, man, it was Hornet fever at that time. I know it's been almost 20 years now, but that was incredible with Chris Paul and David West and the Crescent City connection. I mean, it was so much fun, and people were consumed by that team. And even in 2018, 2019, when they made the postseason with AD and they hosted the Dubs here, it was like people were excited. They won the playoff series against Portland. I mean, and that was Dame. They were like, people will care, man. They will care. They want a reason to care. You got to give them a reason, and you can't win 26 games and run it back with the same team. Like, you got to go do something to show you're trying to improve this roster. Now, they didn't do it in the draft. That's okay, because I'm not, as Scott said, I'm not okay just fire sailing your roster for nothing, because you can't just count on, with the draft lottery, just making sure you have a top pick. You would have done it this year. But if you can go make a move and try to improve your roster, yeah, I'm here for it. So I'm not gonna crush them right now, because I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt to say, let's see what an offseason move may look like for this franchise as they move forward. But if we get to the start of next season and they haven't made some type of significant addition to this roster, it's indefensible. So, patience, I suppose. All right, back to irrelevance. It's After Further Review. We'll knock out a quick break. The NCAA keeps making moves. There's a pretty significant one that's on the table about the future of off-season work in college football. I'll explain to you next. We'll go around the SEC. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. We talk all the time about the many different treatments they offer, but I want you to remember, lowest prices, never any contracts. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Like, if you're a man and you're on HRT, like if you're paying a membership fee at your men's clinic, well, you're already overpaying, because there's never going to be a membership fee at Goodwood. And then also, every 6 months or so, you go do your blood labs. And I know, because I do this. And at other clinics, they charge you for the blood labs. At Goodwood, they pick up that expense. They don't pass that on to you. So if you're somewhere else for your HRT treatment, you're probably overpaying. So check out our friends at Goodwood. They're on Drusilla, and they're online at yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. It's hormone replacement therapy, tons of different peptide options as well, as so many people are learning about peptides as it becomes more mainstream. You get them all at one place, yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine.
ProFormLA.com, ProFormLA.com. That's ProForm Steel. Start at the website. Remember, you can always get a quote at the website. Easy to use, ProFormLA.com. If you are thinking about putting in a metal building, it doesn't matter if it's a shed in your backyard or you're an industrial facility who needs a giant metal building, you want ProForm Steel. First of all, Brandon Golson, industry leader. If you've been in metal buildings for a while, you know who Brandon is. But he's a member of the licensing board, ethical dude, and they have just a great operation over at ProForm Steel. And a couple of things that stand out. Of course, when you order online, you can pick the style, the size, color, the doors. You could submit it all in the form. You're going to get a call back the same day with that estimate. And they use American-made materials on everything. Oh, by the way, free delivery. You buy a building from them, no matter the size, they're delivering it for free. ProFormLA.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalBR.com.
With us here, we are at Marucci Hitter's House in Baton Rouge. Such an awesome place, man. Love coming by here. Remember, if you want to play baseball or softball like the pros, visit us here at Hitter's House. It's the superstore from the official bats of Major League Baseball. You heard Scott Kushner just a minute ago talk about the Hitter's House in New Orleans. It's Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, plus indoor cages, all the latest gear open 24/7 with member access. You get your own key card. You swipe it. You come hit whenever you want. Visit hittershouse.com. Hittershouse.com. Hitter's House, train like the pros. Keep an eye on this, because this week around college athletics, there has been it's been a landmark change and some seismic shifts in rules governing college athletics, most notably the 5-for-5 rule, doing away with red shirts and waivers, and it's 5 years to play 5, and the age limit and all that sort of stuff. We've talked about it plenty, and it's been massive. But the Division I Football Oversight Committee is also looking at several other amendments that would affect college football's off-season and practice schedules. So follow me here. Presently teams have their 15 spring practices, and then you have your opportunity in fall camp to have 25 practices. So you have your 15 spring practices, and then you have fall camp in August, which is 25 practices before you begin your work for your season opening opponent. Usually those 25 practices span 3 weeks of fall camp. So what they're proposing now, and this is actually something that Nick Saban, to his credit, was one of the ones sort of like pounding the drum for, is more of an OTA structure. Now, if you're not an NFL fan, if you don't have a favorite team or follow the offseason, it's okay. But in the NFL, OTAs are organized team activities, and they happen in several different smaller increments over the course of a month or so. And it allows coaches and players to have on-field work that spreads out further over the offseason instead of that sort of compressed time period for spring football. So if you think of it in this way, they would the proposal would allow for 2 out-of-season practice sessions. So instead of thinking about spring football over a month, you'd have 2 different, we'll call them OTAs, right? But it would total 21 practices, and neither of those could exceed 5 weeks. So you could, in theory, have 10 practices in one session, 11 practices in another session, where you're doing 2 a week, maybe, over those 5 weeks. And so now you could effectively have 10 weeks of off-season work with your team where you're not doing anything super intense. There's not a giant risk of injury. You're maybe not even hitting. I mean, just think about what we saw with Saints OTAs. But what you're doing is you're getting on-field work. You're learning the offense. You're repping. You're getting you're doing install. So when you get to your preseason practice, now you're more ready to go. Think of all the ways we talked about OTAs. It's sort of conditioning for training camp, and then training camp is conditioning for the season. So it would more closely mirror that. It would reduce the number of preseason practices, what we now call fall camp, from 25 to 21. So because now instead of your 21 or your 15 spring practices, you're going to expand that to 21 over a longer period of time. So you're going to compress fall camp, which I'm okay with. If you reduce 4 practices there, you're still getting more work in totality. This makes a lot of sense, especially doing away with the spring transfer portal. It doesn't hurt you to start doing install before your transfers get there, because your transfers are going to be there for the start of the spring semester. So this is something that I really hope does pass. It would also reduce, they're also talking about reducing the portal window from 15 days to 10 days. I don't think that necessarily matters tremendously. I think it's not the size or length of the portal window, it's when the portal window opens. But with respect to the end of the season and the start of the spring semester in January, that's been the complicating factor. You want to fix that, you need to move the season up and have the season end on New Year's Day. If you do that, then the portal window opening in January is largely irrelevant in that respect. So if they want to shorten the window, that's fine. They're also talking about increasing the number of staff members that can recruit off campus to 17. So 16 assistants and then the head coach. So a lot of things that I like, and I think is not only forward thinking, but is it is more showing an acceptance of what this era is like. It's a recognition of what the realities are in college football today. And yes, allow more coaches to go recruit off campus. Yes, shrink the portal window. Yes, add OTAs and lengthen out the offseason so you don't have as much concentrated heavy work. You can make it, lighter work over a longer period of time. So the NFL ain't stupid. There's a reason the NFL doesn't have spring practice and then fall camp. Like, they have a structure where it's OTAs and mini camp and then training camp, because they've analyzed all of this data over a year. So just use the model that the best example you could possibly get already uses. So we'll see if that does, in fact, pass when it comes up for a vote. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Storm season's here, y'all. I love the commercial that Brandon did for years, where he's hitting the window with a crowbar and it didn't break through. Those are the Storm Force impact resistant windows. So those are Cat 5 tested in Miami-Dade County. They're basically, they could withstand impact from something from a storm that's Cat 5 storm. So debris flying through the air hits that window, it's not going to shatter through. Well, think that's an extra layer of security for your home. Obviously, they're energy efficient, so it's going to reduce your energy bills, and they're beautiful. And get a lifetime transferable warranty there with Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, it is After Further Review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Texas Longhorns.
For the 5th time in program history, the Texas Longhorns athletic program has won the Learfield Directors Cup. Texas outlasted Stanford, UCLA to collect the title for the 2025 2026 season. The Learfield Directors Cup is given to athletic programs that excel across all sports across an entire year of competition. Texas finished the 2025 and 2026 season with a total of 1,322 points, having won 3 national titles in softball, women's rowing, and men's swimming and diving. The Longhorns also finished second in men's tennis and reached the College World Series in baseball, among other notable achievements.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Aaron Murray, former All-SEC quarterback at Georgia from 2009 to 2013, reported by Front Office Sports on Wednesday that Murray is being bumped up to the top of the SEC network for the 2026 season. Murray will join Matt Shoemaker in the booth this fall as the SEC network's #1 announcing team. Murray and Shoemaker will be replacing last year's top announcing crew on SEC network that was comprised of Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, and Cole Kublik.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Florida Gulf Coast transfer right-handed pitcher Chris Diaz has announced his commitment to Arkansas. The Miami native was tabbed second All-ASUN this season, posting a 3.98 ERA and 15 appearances, all starts for the Eagles. Diaz surrendered 32 earned runs, issued 26 walks, struck out 74 batters across 72 and 1/3 innings.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
South Carolina has landed a commitment from Georgia right-handed pitcher Jordan Stevens. He announced on social media on Thursday after starting his career at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College in Tifton, Georgia. He spent the past 2 seasons at Georgia. He went 5-0 with a 5.7 ERA and 35 appearances with 2 starts. He racked up 45 strikeouts, 31 walks, and 39 innings of work.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
According to rivals Haas Fawcett, the Vols have suffered a decommitment from 4-star defensive lineman Caden Fife. The blue chip pass rusher had been committed to Tennessee since November. He will now explore his options somewhere else. We don't know where he will end up, but it's noted that he has also taken visits from Georgia and Ole Miss, that is around the SEC.
All right, thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it. As after further review, we're glad to have you hanging out with us here from Marucci's Hitter's House. Our Thursday shows, as always, are brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. As we tell you, it's not just health care, it's health care for your lifestyle. Blasia and her awesome team will take great care of you. If it's, you're bringing home a new baby, it was actually I was over at, I told you on Tuesday, I was at the event honoring our friend, the late Ruffin Roderick for the Epicurean Society. Bumped into Clay Harris from LSU's chief revenue officer, and Clay and his lovely wife, Stephanie, just had their first baby. And I said, hey, man, y'all sleeping? He goes, nope. I was like, so my thought is, hey, man, call Blasia. Decision Critical. They'll send a great nurse over if you need to sleep for a night, a couple nights, whatever it may be. They can take care of the baby while you catch up on your sleep so you can be your best during the day. It's Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, from birth to end-of-life care, carrying out a doctor's instructions at home, a doctor's orders at home, whatever it may be. Our friends at Decision Critical can help. DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR. We got a ton to do. As a matter of fact, coming up right after the top of the hour, Ross Jackson will be here. Ross put out his post Saints offseason 53-man roster projection. It's up at LouisianaSports.net. A few things I want to talk about with Ross, so we'll wrap it a little bit. Billy Embody, you might remember, covered LSU for a lot of years, covers SMU. I want to talk a little bit about Jaron Pierre, who the Pelicans drafted, so we'll get a little tidbit from a guy who covered him at SMU that's coming up a little bit as well. So glad to have you hanging out with us here. Let's knock out a quick break. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next on AFR.
After Further Review.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions over at Glow Resources. Remember, if you're a business owner or if you're just the person in your business responsible for finding the right people, if you're the person who hires, HR manager, hiring manager, ops manager, whatever it is in your business, and you need the right people, Glow Resources can help. That's what they do. Their entire business is centered around finding the right people for whatever job you're trying to fill in whatever industry. So it doesn't matter if it's skilled blue-collar labor or any type of office job. I mean, from a an office assistant all the way up to the C-suite. Our friends at Glow Resources can help. They conduct roughly 50 interviews a day, so that's about 15,000 interviews over the course of the year. They're experts at knowing the right questions to ask to find the right person for your job. So check them out and start online at glowresources.com.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the offseason. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our Lay of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Hey, remember, you can step inside the heart of baseball at the Marucci Campus Tour right here in Baton Rouge, literally right behind where we are. The wood shops, the paint booths, the finishing rooms where the official bats of Major League Baseball are made. Experience museum-style exhibits, the interactive displays. It's awesome, especially if you live here and you've never come taking this tour. What are you waiting on? It's maruccisports.com/campus-tour, or just go to maruccisports.com and you'll see the links to get there. But maruccisports.com/campus-tour for more information. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. The United States are back on the field. The United States are back on the pitch tonight. I struggle with y'all know, man, like, the United States is, not are. I don't know, and you know one thing that bothers me? Delondra, get on the headset, please. I got to ask you this question. I don't care if you go in front of the camera. That's fine. It's what it is. Like, you know what I'm talking about? How, like, soccer people say, like, the country as...
Türkiye?
Well, no, plural instead of singular. So, like, the United States are.
Oh.
Like, instead of the United States is playing. Like, the United States are leading. No. The United States is leading. We're one country, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, that bothers me. And, like...
Can I play devil's advocate?
Yeah.
the United States is like more than one state.
I get it.
Yeah.
But we are one nation.
No,
that is,
for sure.
That is one team.
Yeah.
It's like the Chicago Bears. You don't say the Bears is leading.
Right.
It's many players,
Yeah.
but they're one team. The Bears are leading, right? Okay, so that bothers me. But what really bothers me more is that Americans who know better do that only with regard to soccer.
Okay.
Like,
I guess I never noticed that.
In your life, if you're saying anything about the United States and you're referring to our country, you're going to say the United States
is.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Is beautiful.
Right.
The United States is 250 years old. Wouldn't you say that?
Yes.
You wouldn't say the United States are beautiful. The United States are. But Americans do it when it comes to soccer. I'm like, what you doing, fam? Like, don't try to act like them because they do it wrong.
We're not them.
They do it wrong.
Yeah.
All right? We speak English. This is America.
Correct.
We can call it, you want to call it a pitch because that's what they call it? I'm fine with that. You would call it the uniforms kits because, okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. But we cannot ignore the rules of grammar.
No.
To try to fit in.
Just because you're English.
Or anybody.
Yeah.
Hour 2's next. It's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. Get your reservations at supperclubbtr.com. Not far from where we are right now, Alondra. We can pop up to Perkins, hang a right before we get to Bluebonnet. It's on the left. Get your reservations, y'all. Weekend's almost here. Better yet, how about this? I got a better idea. It's Thursday, so just start your weekend now. Go to Supper Club. I mean, when you knock off of work, instead of going home, call your significant other, call your girlfriend, whoever, and say, hey, look, don't cook tonight. We're going to Supper Club. Even if you don't have a reservation, no sweat. Open seating at the bar, 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables. So you take a shot. Maybe wait a little bit, but have a cocktail, glass of wine at the bar, and then have dinner tonight and make it a memorable night just because you went to Supper Club. SupperClubbTR.com.
Hey everybody, Drew Brees here. Over the years, I've learned that the best teams are built on trust, preparation, and doing things the right way. That's one of the reasons I'm excited to announce that the Breeze Dream Foundation and I are partnering with Parish Construction and Roofing. Together, we are committed to helping families prepare for hurricane season. That's why Parish Construction and Roofing, the Breeze Dream Foundation, and WAFB are partnering to provide one capital area family with a brand new fortified roof. Visit WAFB.com/contest to enter the giveaway and view official rules and eligibility requirements. Because stronger homes build stronger communities.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get
Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Timberwolves, looking for years for a co-star to team with guard Anthony Edwards, got one courtesy of an NBA blockbuster. ESPN's Shams Charania is reporting Minnesota's acquiring LaMelo Ball and Josh Green from the Hornets for Naz Reid in a series of draft picks. T-Wolves core, 25-year-old winger Jaden McDaniels, and its 24-year-old backcourt in Edwards and Ball. First Take host, Stephen A. Smith.
Well, number one, you can't dislike it. It's an elite backcourt. We have to remember that LaMelo averaged 20 this year, shooting 37% from three-point range. So the brother can score, but his gift is passing the basketball. And look who he's passing it to. A superstar, if ever there was one, in Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards.
Edwards, Ball, and McDaniels all under contract through the 2028-2029 season. Free agent guard Kobe White intends to sign a 3-year, $74 million deal to return to Charlotte. He'd been a major priority for the team and now steps into a new starting role in the backcourt after the Ball trade. Team USA captain Christian Pulisic expected to return from a calf injury and play tonight against Turkey at the World Cup in the group stage finale.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Friday, the Wolves have gone all in to keep Anthony Edwards happy, but I'll tell you why the LaMelo Ball trade will backfire. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Matt Moscona here today at Marucci Hitter's House. Alondra's on site. Jordan and Paul back in studio. We're glad to have you hanging out with us. At the bottom of this hour, so 30 minutes from right now, our buddy Billy Embody is going to stop by. Billy covered LSU for a lot of years, but you might remember he was actually a punter at SMU and now covers SMU. And last night, the New Orleans Pelicans drafted an SMU basketball player. So Billy's going to join us, not to talk about football, but actually about Jaron Pierre, who the Pelicans selected 58th overall. So we're looking forward to that conversation here in 30 minutes. By the way, when we're here at Marucci Hitter's House, dudes here are awesome. They always hook us up with swag to give away, and there are Marucci World Series hats. What is this hat? This is like it says Marucci Records. Look, what is that? Is it just like a one-off? It says Atlanta 2025. Anyway, whatever. Those are awesome. So 2 hats, 2 different styles of hats. Let's see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 hats right there. So first 11 people that come through the door say, give me a hat, you get in a hat. A guy who I know loves a good hat is Ross Jackson because he got one of those. Ross, what was the hat that you made me get you when we were at the Super Bowl this year? They mailed it to me. What was it?
Oh, that was the backyard baseball.
Yep. It's still sitting on my desk at my house. So I got
I guess I should come up to Baton Rouge sometime, huh?
Or you should have just done what we talked about in the Bay Area, which was you take that one, and when they mailed me the second one, I would have given it to Rivers. But instead, being the very polite person, you're like, no, Rivers, you take this one. It's like, no, that's not. That was an inefficiency in the system, Ross.
No, that inefficiency is fine in light of politeness in all cases. In all cases.
This is where
that
Ross
was
and I are
Rivers'
different
hat,
humans. This is
that was Rivers' hat.
No.
It was already bestowed upon Rivers. I was not going to take it. That would have been rude.
That's actually not true. It was a hat that the Backyard Sports folks gave to me when I was doing the interview. I did not want the hat because I don't know anything about Backyard Sports, never played it. And then you both were like, oh, my God, I want it simultaneously. And that's when that happened. And then you're like, no, Rivers, you take it. And she's like, no, we'll get the other mail.
Ty goes to the runner, and Rivers is the runner, man.
That doesn't make sense. I mean, Ty goes to the runner, actually. By the way, that's not actually a rule. Did you know that? There is no rule in the book.
No, I didn't know that.
There's actually not a rule in the rule book, believe it or not. Okay, let's talk about other stuff. How about your 53-man roster projection, taking a look at the offense? This is up at LouisianaSports.net, by the way. If you want to check it out, you can always get it for free. This was an important time, I guess, or an interesting time to do this because all the offseason work now is done. So there's a pre-training camp roster projection. What was the hardest position offensively to project?
Yeah, I think the toughest one it was really kind of running back, just because of the uncertainty around Alvin Kamara. It kind of has this built-in wrinkle to where, yeah, you might want to keep 4 running backs, but you might not be in position to do so because the team might not be moving forward with, any number of those running backs as well. So I think that was a big part of it. And then even beyond the Alvin Kamara piece, the Kendre Miller, will he, won't he be healthy going into the season, all these other things, question mark kind of came up. And as Travis Etienne Jr. joins, he bumps guys like Devin Neal and Audric Estime, who were really vital to the team's running game toward the end of the season, down because, of course, he jumps up to the top of that pecking order. So I think running back was the one that was the most challenging to sort of figure out how to suss out.
So you have Kamara among the 4 backs. You do not have Kendre Miller. How do you think this all play? Like, if you would just elaborate, explain how you think this is all going to play out.
Yeah, I think part of it right now is looking at where does the pecking order start going into training camp. And as we look at what that pecking order is, we have to look at who participated, who did not participate. Alvin Kamara participated. He has made it very clear that he wants to be a part of this roster. How the Saints hold up their side of that, we'll see over the coming weeks. But then the Kendre Miller portion of it was that he was injured all throughout and wasn't on the field outside of a couple of, walkthrough snaps and things like that. And so I couldn't rightfully put Kendre Miller in there as an early piece of the projection, although training camp should provide him the opportunity. And as I've been told, he's expected to be good to go to start training camp. Now, whether that means that he's full go week 1 or if he's just full go day 1 or if he's just kind of on the field day 1, we'll see. But my understanding is that he'll be ready to go as training camp begins. And so now he can change that by being on the field during training camp. But just looking at the off-season practices, who participated, who didn't participate, it didn't make a lot of sense for me to have Alvin Kamara off, Kendre Miller on.
Okay, if Kendre Miller is healthy, participates, and makes the team, assuming Kamara is on the roster, at whose expense does that come?
Yeah, I think that's where the conversation has to start at Devin Neal and Audric Estime and these guys that are trying to vie for roster spots. And this is where the NFL moves so quickly, right? Devin Neal was going into his second year chilling over the course of the offseason, right? Like, oh, man, there's a chance that I'm the second guy in this room, depending on what happens with Alvin. And then all of a sudden, Travis Etienne Jr. gets signed. Ty Chandler gets signed. C.J. Donaldson gets signed. Kendre Miller's coming back from injury. Alvin Kamara's still on the roster. And then you're like, oh, no, this isn't what I thought this was going to be. And so it gives you a little bit of an idea of how quickly things change in the NFL from prospect to reality. And so I think that then you have to start looking at those guys and what happens with the special teams contribution. Which of them are able to contribute more on special teams? That's where Ty Chandler potentially enters that conversation as well. And then now you're starting to figure out, okay, who are you most likely to be able to get to the practice squad if you're not going to have them on the active roster? So really that conversation just comes down to sort of that duo or trio, if you include Ty Chandler's special teams acumen, comes down to a conversation of those guys if both Kamara and Kendre Miller are on that roster.
Ross Jackson's our guest, Locked On Saints podcast, LouisianaSports.net. So read, listen, watch, all free. He's at Ross Jackson NOLA. So if running back was the toughest to project, I would assume receiver was the easiest to project?
Yeah, that one was pretty simple because really the only question was how many do you keep? Do you keep 5 or do you keep 6? And with one of those guys, Jaron Brown, former LSU Tiger, go Tigers, that ends up being in, a guy that can be a primary returner for you. It makes it sort of logical for you to maybe keep an extra receiver there, what we would call an extra receiver, with 6 as opposed to 5. And so kind of looking at the way that everything panned out over the course of the offseason, you assume they're, Chris Olave, Devon Vele, Jordan Tyson are, of course, at the top of that. And then you have your 2 rookies in Bryce Lance, drafted in the 4th round, and Jaron Brown, who's set to be your primary returner. Those guys are on the roster. That's 5. If you keep a 6 right now, Jalen Polk was the guy that looked the most polished over the course of the offseason training camp portion. So for the early foundation set, it feels like he would be the guy that right now maybe has that sort of early lead on that final spot with other players like Kevin Austin Jr. and Trey Palmer and others looking to compete by the time you get to camp.
What about offensive line? You have them keeping 10. So we know the 5 starters are entrenched. That goes without saying. Walk me through what you're looking at there with the backups.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it depends on Alan Herron, the Maryland undrafted free agent tackle, who they gave a 276.5 $276,500 kind of guarantee on his undrafted free agent contract, which is a pretty sizable guarantee to give. That's typically indicative of a player that you'd like to get to the active roster, or a player that you had to kind of bargain with and compete with other teams in order to sign. So letting him go to the practice squad might be a little bit trickier. So he's the reason why there's 10 instead of 9 there. And so for me, keeping Dylan Radin, that's your 6 guy. He's your swing player that can play guard and tackle. He can be your jumbo set guy as well. That's an easy one. Torres Simpkins right now is set to be the backup center. You would like to have a primary backup center on this roster. We saw the value of that in Luke Fortner last year. So I think Simpkins is the guy that can kind of bolster up to that. And then Austin Richards is really the only other guy. The Saints traded for him during the preseason last year from the Dallas Cowboys. He's really the only other guy that's taken tackle snaps for this team that's not named Kelvin Banks Jr. or Taliesin Flonga, because those tackles were mostly healthy throughout the season last year. And so it was sort of just figuring out, okay, who are the guys that have the most playing experience, have the most exposure, and who do you keep around? And then the wild card was the Alan Heron of it all, the player from Westmoreland, Jamaica, who signed as a UDFA, didn't miss a single game during his collegiate days, an overall just really athletic guy that they're really, really excited about. He was kind of the biggest wild card. For right now, I kept him on that 53-man roster projection. But if the Saints feel comfortable about being able to swing him over to the practice squad, you could potentially see them keep 9 there instead of 10.
Okay. Great stuff as always. Get him at Ross Jackson Nola. You can listen or watch for free. Locked on Saints. Of course, you can always read his work at LouisianaSports.net. Thank you, Ross. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, buddy. Take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
All right, man. We'll do it again soon. It's After Further Review. We're here from Marucci Hitter's house. We're glad you're hanging out. We'll knock out a quick break and continue. It's hour 2 of AFR.
AFR.
REV, RevFiber, RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. Listen, there are a few things more annoying than slow internet service when the little wheel is spinning. Rev can take care of that. RevFiber.com. If it's for your home or for your office, remember, internet, home automation, security, phone, cable. My wife still has a landline. Nobody's here to judge, but if you want a landline, they can do that for you as well. RevFiber.com. Backed by the security of an all-fiber network, lightning-fast internet speeds, and great prices, and local service. It's RevFiber. So check them out online at RevFiber.com. That's so you can get connected with a local rep, and they'll get you quoted on your sales price and all that sort of stuff. It's RevFiber.com. Remember, there's never a fee when you switch. So log on today to RevFiber.com for your home or for your business. RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
River Parish Contractors, rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com. Listen, if you're looking for work, especially skilled blue-collar labor right now, we all understand it, man. It is in demand. There are a lot of places looking for people. So maybe you got a great job, and that's awesome. And if you do, I'm fired up for you. We're talking welders, pipe fitters, tackers, cutters, crane operators. I mean, they need you. And when you're talking about River Parish Contractors, there's so many advantages. The hourly rate, as much overtime as you want to work, full benefits packages, paid time off, and you're home every night. You're home every night. The Fab Shop is right there in Reserve. All their work between Chalmette and Baton Rouge. You're home with your family for dinner. You want to see your kids' games, all your kids' games, you'll be able to do it when you work at River Parish Contractors. Check them out, rpcontractors.com.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Glad to have you rolling along with us here on a Tuesday edition. God, what? Oh my God, Alondra, I just said Tuesday edition. Earlier I said Monday, and now I just said Tuesday. Like,
I'm gonna really need you to stop setting us back.
No, I'm going forward.
No.
Sorry.
I don't want that either.
Oh, man, live in the moment. It is Thursday, and we are presented by Decision Critical, and we're at Marucci. Shout out, we just gave away 2 of the hats. So we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 hats. Whatever.
Can you talk about that bat, too?
Oh.
Sorry, I meant to tell you that during the break, but you were busy.
What is this?
It is a...
it's a Victus. It says Beacon on it.
Mm-hmm, it's pretty cool.
What is this? It's a what? Oh my goodness, dude!
Pretty sick.
I wish, look at the Statue of Liberty on that with the red lipstick.
She got a chain on
with the red lipstick, like Taylor Swift, who's getting married in
New York.
In New York. Although, don't tell my wife that because she keeps telling me I'm fake news.
I think they're spreading fake news to throw people off the trail.
You think Travis and Taylor are?
Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, if you don't know what we're talking about, many people probably know that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged. They're about to get married. Well, I read about this today at Pro Football Focus. It's not Pro Football Focus, excuse me, Pro Football Talk. Florio they're on their rumor mill page. It's something I look at every day just to see what NFL news is going on, if there's something relevant.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, that's where I found this story, which I'm about to talk about in a second, because it does dovetail into this.
Okay.
All this because of the pink lipstick on the Statue of Liberty. So there's this, apparently, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have reserved Madison Square Garden for July 2nd and July 3rd. They have like a 100-person event on the 2nd, and it's like 1,000 people on the 3rd.
Whoa.
So, yeah, and they're like blocking streets and whatever in New York City. So I think the expectation is they're probably having like their rehearsal dinner or whatever for, on the first night, and then the wedding the second day.
Right.
Well, Erica, my wife, who's the biggest Swiftie in the world, please call her.
Okay.
She refuses to believe that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce would dare get married at Madison Square Garden. I'm like,
to be fair, that feels very tacky.
It's the world's most famous arena.
Yeah, but why are you getting married in an arena?
I don't know.
Let me call Erica.
You think they're just throwing them off the scent? All right, you call Erica. Anyway, come get this bat at Marucci, which is awesome. And it's got, dude, the drip on it. The stuff the kids have now. Like, I was just fired up when, way back in the day, there was like a red, white. Warren Morris hit a home run with that red, white, and blue bat in 96, and every kid wanted that bat. And then it's like, I mean, now, look, that's unbelievable. Shout out to Victus, our friends here at Marucci. Okay, well, she calls Erica, and then there's another story I have to tell Erica about in a second. So we'll call Erica. Quick reminder about Evermore, EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com, EVAMOR. Drink Evermore. Always have my Evermore here. Stay hydrated this summer when she probably doesn't know it's you calling. So text her and be like, answer the phone. Drink Evermore. Hey, Siri, text Erica. This is how we do right now. This is unbelievable.
To Erica.
No, I don't want to say that.
I won't send it.
Oh, God. I was talking about Evermore. I was trying to text my wife, tell her to answer the phone because we're on live radio. This is what happens here. You think I'm ready for vacation in a big way? Drink Evermore. You should do that. We'll take Evermore with us on vacation. We'll pick it up wherever we are because it's awesome. They have national distribution. They're an amazing product, healthier alternative, natural artesian water, tastes great. No matter what you're doing this summer, cutting the grass, playing sports with the kids, drink Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com. God, I wanted to, in this segment, she sent you straight to voicemail? Bruh. Oh, wait. She's texting me back. I said, answer. She's texting me back. Why do you think she's not answering?
I don't know.
Oh, she's on hold with CVS.
Oh.
No.
She's ruined our whole bit.
Call them back. There. Anyway, all right. I was hoping she would answer the phone. Okay, all right. She said, all right, call her back. Call her again. Call her again. Okay. I was like, call CVS back. What are you talking about? She's trying to get Drew's medicine. I know. Trust me. My wife,
Priorities.
Bro, my wife, like, she is a hero. The amount of stuff that she does for Drew and the medicine and the doctors and all the stuff. I mean, Drew needs a personal assistant. My wife does that. She's incredible. So, okay, all right, she's on hold. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Can you pot her up? We got to pot her up. Okay, hey, babe.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
I was just singing your praises. I just said that everybody, like, you're on the hold with CVS and that you're a hero because Drew needs a personal assistant, and like you do all his meds and all his doctors and every schedules, and it's incredible. So I'm sorry that you hung up, but this is important.
That's okay.
This is important.
Okay.
So Alondra and I were talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce getting married at Madison Square Garden.
They're not getting married at Madison Square Garden.
Okay, then I need you to explain this to me. Okay, the link I sent you earlier is from Pro Football Talk. It's Mike Floyd. It's a very reputable. Like Mike Florio's on the Sunday Night Football, NFL on NBC. Like, he's a very reputable guy. And he says that they have reserved Madison Square Garden for the second. Yeah, because I know you just read the headline. You didn't read the story. You're a headline reader in that respect. But it said
correct.
There's 100. They have Swift and Kelce reserved Madison Square Garden for 100 people on the second and 1,000 people on the third, and they have blocked the streets around Madison Square Garden for their events. What do you think that is then?
I just think it's fake news because I always see things like that, Matt, that I tell you about, and you're like, that's not real.
But Erica, this is a reputable news organization reporting that Madison Square Garden is reserved. And
I heard their streets blocked off around there, like they have permits and stuff.
Yes, well, these are all things that's public record.
Oh, well, I don't know, Matt. Maybe. I mean, I just think it just doesn't sound like what I would think they would do. But I guess I don't technically know them.
I think it's tacky.
That's what Alondra said. She thinks it's tacky.
Well, I think the big event, like I guess the intimate, the 100 people event, like I just would have figured it'd be somewhere else. But maybe, I don't know.
See, I think.
I don't even know what is Madison Square Garden. I don't even know what it is. Is it a garden?
So,
I mean, I've been to New York 100 times, but I don't know that I've ever been there.
You have been there. You went there with me.
Oh, it's the basketball arena?
It's the basketball arena.
No, they're not getting married there. There's no way they're getting married inside a basketball arena.
Why not?
Zero chance. Because they're not doing that.
It is the most famous arena in the world.
The Coliseum?
No. This is like Madison Square Garden is known as the most famous arena in the world, the world's most famous arena.
I found it kind of dingy. In there.
It is an old building, but it's also right in the middle of Manhattan. Like, you can't exactly just like build. There ain't a lot of land to build, and
I would do Central Park if I was her before I do that.
But then you're out in the public, and everybody's around.
They could get like Tavern on the Green. They could do something way better. I don't think it's a wedding. I really don't. She did not consult me with the planning of this. That's for sure.
Hey, so the super odd thing about this as well is, like, I was literally in this segment also going to mention this in connection because do you know you're going to be so excited, babe.
What?
I'm going to let Alondra read it.
Oh, God.
Alondra, you read the highlighted first line.
Okay.
Read the highlighted first line.
NFL-themed Christmas movies have become an annual staple for Hallmark Channel, and this year the Bears will be the featured team.
They're doing another.
Bears?
The Bears, the Chicago Bears. They're doing another Hallmark Christmas movie.
Good. That one was kind of cheesy, but
you
with the
didn't
hat,
like it? It had Mama Kelsey in it.
Yeah, but the hat was just kind of silly. Like if they didn't wear the hat, I love some Hallmark movies, but I didn't. And I thought they were going to be in it, but they weren't. It was just like a kind of like. I mean, it was okay. It was like one of the lower Hallmark Christmas movies, I would say.
But Mama Kelsey was in it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of hers.
Ooh.
I don't not like her.
What's your beef with Mama Kelsey?
I don't not like her. I just don't. I'm not going to like it because of her. That's not why I'm going to like something. How are you even talking about this right now? Are you on air?
Yes. So here's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I was about to talk about Mason Taylor.
How's he doing?
I think he's
Is
doing.
that the guy I ran into?
That is
on the field.
Erica was one of those that stormed the field after the Alabama game, and she was sitting right behind Katina, Mason's mom, for the game. Well, you could tell it. You tell it.
Yeah, but I ran onto the field because it was amazing, and I didn't realize he was the one who caught that last winning touch pass or whatever. And so I was just like, there's this huge guy, and it was just weird. We were like, I was up to his shoulders, and I was like, oh, hey, there's that little guy. And then I was like, oh, wait, that's the guy.
Yep, that's the guy.
Huge.
So I would like to point out.
He didn't even look dirty. He didn't even look like sweaty. He didn't even look like, he just looked like he was just like strolling along with the other million people on the field.
So
anyway,
I would like to point out two things. As I often say, that I married a woman that knows nothing about sports.
Which is a lie.
You push back. In this last 5 minutes, you have both said you do not know what Madison Square Garden is, and you did not know that Mason Taylor played football.
Okay, I knew he played football. I didn't realize that was him because I thought he'd look a little more sweaty and a little more dirty from like just winning that game. He looked like he was just having a little stroll, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't
and
fit
you
the part.
also wore an orange and white
that's enough
checkerboard tank top.
No, that is only because I was going to see No Doubt. That has nothing to do with Tennessee.
And I warned you as we were leaving the house, it looks like Tennessee. And you were like, no. And literally everyone was like, that looks like Tennessee.
I know. That was a mistake. I know. I had a solid orange tank, too. I should have just gone solid orange.
So you asked how we got down this. So we're here at Marucci. Yes. We're here at Marucci today. And they just handed me this bat. It's a really cool bat, by the way. And it's got, it's a Victus, and it's what you call it, design. It's like I don't know if it's custom, but it's anyway. There's the Statue of Liberty on it, and the Statue of Liberty has a chain, is wearing glasses, and has like bright red lipstick on it. And I was like, oh, like Taylor Swift. And so then I went down the Taylor Swift rabbit hole, and that's how this whole thing started.
Okay.
And then I told Alondra to call Taylor call Taylor. Yes, that'd be great.
God.
Taylor.
Can you imagine?
That'd be great.
Hey, Tay-Tay.
Hey, call Taylor and
got you. Don't worry.
Ask her if they're.
Hey, we did meet her in Nashville.
Ask if they're.
The fact that you just mistook me for her, I mean, is kind of crazy. It's kind of amazing, but
no, we did not mistake you for her.
Yeah, you did. You just called me. You called me Tay, and so I kind of like it.
So what Alondra was referring to is when I was doing AFR in Nashville, and after the show we went to dinner, and there was a singer in the restaurants playing an acoustic set and singing. I took a picture from 100 feet away and sent it to you like, oh my God,
you tried convincing it to me. Yeah, I was not believing that for a minute.
Yes, you were actually.
I don't think it was.
Yes, you were.
I don't know, Matt. I don't remember that. I just remember asking you to request Lover.
Request a song.
In case it was real. But then I knew there was no way.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you for.
Okay, they're not getting married at the basketball arena. That's dingy and dirty.
What happens if they are getting married at the basketball arena? However.
Okay, well, good for them. Then good for them. They're not too good for themselves. Then I mean, the fact that she's shutting this
garden.
It's a dirty basketball arena. I mean, did you see how he proposed? It was like a beautiful garden in his backyard. Like, it's going to be floral. She's not getting married in a basketball arena.
What if she does?
It's just silly. I'd rather her get married like on the Chiefs field or something than in a basketball arena.
What do you think? That's like you and me getting married in the radio studio. What do you think?
Yeah.
Not at all.
No, it's not at all.
So exactly. So what do you think is going down then?
I don't know. I think she has some big announcement on GMA, I think, tomorrow. So, or did that already happen? I haven't seen anything about it. So she has some big announcement on Good Morning America.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see, Matt. We'll see. But I'm glad that you're locked in for sure.
I mean, I thought you might have an answer, but the fact that you're calling.
It's not. Did you see what Danae put on that? She said fake news as well, and she's got like all the inside hookups and scoops. So I trust her way more than me.
You said
and
fake
Danae
news,
said fake news, and then she said 100%.
She just she liked your fake news thing. But
She
neither
100%
of you
did it.
clicked the link and read the article. Like, one thing is factual.
Oh,
this is factual.
Well,
this is factual. Those two have reserved Madison Square Garden on July 2nd, when I'm going to be in New York, by the way, and July the 3rd, and they've shut down streets around the arena. So they are having some event there.
Yeah, it's a party or something.
Sure.
They're not having a wedding there.
Naturally, yeah, sure. Lots of people just reserve Madison Square Garden for a party. Happens all the time.
Well, when you're them, you can.
That's true. All right. Well, thank you.
Now that I knew it's a desirable place. I mean, I wouldn't really want to go back there. We went that one time. I measured my hand up against that big guy's hand or something. I mean, that was about it. I remember that part. Well, I was pregnant. So, anyway. That's what I remember from Madison Square Garden. There's some big guy's hand. Carmelo Anthony maybe or somebody.
I think Melo was with the Knicks at that time.
Look at me. Okay, my wife doesn't know anything. I just pulled out some name that no one even knows.
She does not know ball.
Nobody knows Carmelo Anthony. No,
thank you, Alondra.
You're right.
That's exactly my point. I pulled a name nobody knows. Carmelo Anthony is a Hall of Famer. He won a national championship at Syracuse, part of arguably the greatest draft class ever.
Call up any other random girl and ask them who Carmelo Anthony is, and no one's going to know.
Anthony is. Oh, my God.
No other female will. Yeah, you and your sports brain.
But I'm not judging it based on what a normal female. I'm saying, would you know sports? That's the point. All right, I have to go. I'm late for a break. Thank you.
Goodbye.
All right, see you later. That's Erica. Tell me that wasn't worth it.
It was.
I know. It was worth her hanging up with CBS. Okay. Do you think Travis got the ring at Lee Michaels? Hopefully. If
he was smart.
If he's smart, he would have. Because you're going to get a great selection and a great price. I mean, I don't care that you're Travis. Like, you make Travis Kelce money. You don't make Taylor Swift money. You know what I mean? So you better get something that's awesome, but also at a great price. That's why you go to Lee Michaels. 9 different locations: Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels fine jewelry. Maybe you go to box stores, it tends to be cookie cutter. You go to the boutique jewelers, you don't have as great a selection, and you're going to overpay. You go to Lee Michaels because it's that perfect in between. They're big enough to have the selection that you want. If they don't have what you want, they'll find it. If they can't find it, they'll make it. And you're going to get a great price and still the Lee Michaels experience. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. All right, we're halfway home here on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We're at Marucci's Hitter's House. You want to pop on by, come see us. We'd love to have you come on, pop in here, take some swings in the cage. It's been awesome, man. See a lot of the kiddos popping through today in their uniforms. You know, a lot of games and leagues. Maybe come take some hacks before you head to the ball field, or any time you can. If you're a member, swipe the membership card. You got your private access, private cages. It's awesome here. And, of course, here in the storefront, they got everything you want: bats and gloves, cleats. We saw earlier those vintage cleats are pretty cool. You want to check them out, you can here at Marucci Hitter's House. All right, it's after further review. We'll now got a quick break. When we come back, oh, man, we are so late. We're supposed to be talking to Billy Embody already. Oh, God, we're late. Got to go to break. Billy Embody next. AFR.
AFR.
All right, it's after further review. Our Thursday shows here. We love telling you about our friends over at River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com for River City's 1 Hour Air. Y'all, it's hot outside. It is 94 degrees right now. I don't even know what the heat index is, but the air temp's 94. It's here, y'all. Summer's here. It's hot. It is brutally hot right now. Make sure your AC is ready to roll for the warm weather months. Give them a buzz at 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. That's where you can find them online. They'll come out to the house. They'll always come out nights, holidays, weekends, and never charge you extra to come out nights, holidays, weekends. Got an issue with your AC? Call River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
The Pelicans had one pick in the draft. They selected Jaron Pierre out of SMU, originally from New Orleans. So Jaron Pierre's heading home. Our friend Billy Embody, covering SMU, joins us now to talk a little bit about Jaron Pierre. Billy, how are you, dude?
Doing well, Matt. Good to hear your voice on the radio.
You as well. Man, it's admittedly a little odd that I'm not asking you recruiting questions right now. Let's just start with it, with Pierre. Give us the thumbnail overview of Jaron Pierre.
He is exciting. I mean, he is an absolute bucket, in terms of how the kids would probably put it, so to speak. But uber athletic, explosive, one of those players that gets the arena going a little bit whenever he's got the ball in space. There were a couple times last year where he took off from the free throw line and threw down a tomahawk dunk. It was honestly nuts. And SMU kind of had a run there of a few draft picks in the late 2010s. And I kind of said before this year, I'd watched some practice. I said, this is by far the most athletic player SMU's had since Shake Milton, Semi Ojeleye, Sterling Brown, kind of that group that came through. And sure enough, it took him a minute to get Andy Enfield's system, especially defensively, was kind of I would say a challenge at times, but he could absolutely fill it up. by far, I would say the most athletic player on the team. And this was a team that had a really good backcourt. And I just think he's somebody that if he buys into everything as far as being a pro, playing defense, doing all of those things, he's got a chance to be really, really good. But, I mean, he did some things to a couple of Miami players in the second half when they were kind of charging back late in the season, put the ball between a couple guys' legs. I mean, it was just kind of wild. And this is coming off of a year that he had led the entire country in points at Jacksonville State. So he can absolutely get his 6'5", 215 or so. And again, like you said, from New Orleans, I'm sure he's excited to be home.
So, Billy, it's interesting you mentioned Jacksonville State. Well, SMU was his fourth school in 5 years, from Southern Miss for a couple of years to Wichita State to Jacksonville State to SMU. Do you know much about him prior to his time with the Ponies?
Yeah, I think just one of those guys that kind of got caught up into the basketball world of portaling after each season. That's just kind of the world it is on that side of things, I feel like, especially at that level that he was at for so long. He was trying to get to that next step, found it at Jacksonville State and really got rolling. And that was when his recruitment became a high major deal. I think it was SMU. I think Ole Miss was involved, Louisville, a couple of others. And his NIL price tag was pretty high. So he got a good payday for his final year of college eligibility, and he took advantage of it. You know, went into the ACC, and SMU had, needed to replace some guys in the backcourt that had logged major minutes, had a bunch of experience, and he was that explosive athlete who could shoot it well from beyond the arc and also get to the rim and cause some problems and stress a defense. So it worked out for both sides. I think they got, what they wanted out of it. But I think he is very much one of those players that as he kind of rose up through the ranks in high school, couldn't really get to that high level, but was a super raw kid who found his way and just happened to bounce around a few programs. I think the main thing is he will have to buy into playing defense and doing some of those things because at the NBA level, you've got to give that a little bit of attention. And at SMU, this was a team that wasn't very good defensively as a whole. So it probably wasn't necessarily the best environment to take up that side of the court, but he lets his offense do a lot of the talking and his expression of, how he's doing mentally is a lot on the offensive side of the court.
It's so interesting, Billy, because the Pelicans just hired Jamal Mosley, who is by nature a defensive coach. So that fits interesting. I know you don't cover the Pels, so I'm hesitant to ask how he fits in New Orleans, but maybe a better question that's maybe broader is how does he project on an NBA roster?
But he's athletically what you want. I mean, he's absolutely going to fit in. He's not going to be out of place. I think when we saw him turn it on at times last year, I look back at the Louisville game. He had a really strong performance against a talented Louisville team. He had a big game against Texas A&M. I mean, I think he scored 35 points. I know they went to overtime, but you might have to look it up and fact check me on this, but I think he scored 17 of the last 18 points or something crazy like that to will SMU to a win. So he's got that dog. I think the first interview I did with him, he actually said, "I'm a killer and you better feel bad for the other team on the other side of the court if you're not wearing our colors." So very much is a quote machine too. So he's got that in him. But I think when you get him into an NBA system, the goal here is to obviously get the athletic talent that he has to show a more consistent level of defensive ability, like he showed in spurts last year. It just wasn't a total part of his game. So if he does that, he's got the tools to be a really, really good piece.
He's at Billy Embody, covers SMU for On3. Last thing, team guy, locker room guy, how does he fit?
Yeah, he's pretty funny. He's pretty funny character. Like I said, kind of a quote machine. I think he's gotten to experience an NBA lifestyle, living in a bigger city this past year, living with a lot of money. So he's got that under his belt already. But I think if he buys in, that's to the team aspect, to doing all the things that Mosley will want him to do, especially on the defensive end. That'll get him into that good graces, and he can kind of feed off of that. Again, he's been such a scorer, especially the last 2 years, that you got to make sure you probably nurture that the right way if there's an adjustment period, or if he plays down on a two-way kind of situation. I'm not sure if they had immediately signed him or not, but I assume he'll probably be on some sort of a two-way situation at least to start. So if he goes down, you want to make sure you're nurturing all of that so that he stays on task, he stays focused. I mean, he was at SMU for a year. It was his final year of college eligibility. So I know it was an adventure at times to make sure he was doing all the things he needed to in terms of class. But that was, that's kind of the life when you have that last year. And you're coming off a year where you scored the most points in college basketball. You probably feel like you're headed to a professional league at some point, not necessarily worried about what exams you got at the end of the year.
He's Billy Embody. No more exams, man. Just even go make a basketball team and get buckets. Designated bucket getter. Got to have those. At Billy Embody, y'all give him a follow. Thanks, man. Great to chat.
Anytime, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Yep, it's our pleasure. We're here at Marucci Hitter's House. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, and I always love reminding you about Shaw Bills. Eric and I, next Friday, a week from tomorrow, we head to the beach for our family vacation. If you've got anything going on with your vehicle, make sure you bring it to Shaw Bills. You need your oil change, bring it to Shaw Bills. Tire rotated, bring it to Shaw Bills. You need to buy new tires if it's time. Get a little treadbear there. Make sure you bring it to Shaw Bills. They'll treat you like family. It's part of their operation since they opened their doors in 1968. Mr. Charlie said we're going to sell name brand tires at wholesale price, and we're going to treat you like family. That's Shaw Bills. Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills. We keep you rolling. Hey, Alondra. Think they don't listen? I just got on Twitter from Pop Crave, who I don't follow Pop Crave. It's just, I guess, one of my For You, whatever. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have reportedly filed a permit request to close streets around Madison Square Garden July 2nd to 4th, according to now TMZ is in on it, and several members of the Kansas City Chiefs have booked hotel rooms in the area for the same time period. Tell me, they didn't get married at Madison Square. What are they doing? They was having a party at Madison Square Garden before the wedding?
Maybe.
They're just throwing everybody off the set?
Yes, that's what I think.
I mean,
everybody's going to sit in the seats or what?
On the floor.
So then they're just there?
Yeah.
Everything's so tacky about it to me.
She's got to have something planned. What if they're putting like the Eras Tour stage in there? Like, what if they're setting up the stage?
Well, again, that's like you and Erica getting married in the studio.
Our studio ain't the Eras Tour stage.
No, it's
If
really
it was
not.
that, I'd be like,
With
she
the
dives in the
fishes? Yeah.
my God, she dives in the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to that. Did you go to that show?
I did.
I went to that show. It was pretty
I went
fire,
Vegas.
Man. Why'd you go in Vegas?
It was like one of the first ones.
I still don't know how you didn't get your behind on a plane to
Bro,
Vegas
I don't
to
wanna
go
talk
watch
about it.
go watch No Doubt.
I don't want to talk about it.
But then again,
and I respect that you're respecting my boundaries and not telling me about it.
Meanwhile, I'm getting texts from my friends about the Orange Army in Kansas City right now. I mean,
Bro.
FOMO. Major FOMO. All right, it's after further review at Marucci's Hitter's House. We'll wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Jaron James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. If you are thinking about selling your home, call Jaron James and get your home sold. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com, agent225.com. Listen, it comes down to this, all right? If you need to sell your home, everyone knows a realtor. Your mom's a realtor, your aunt's a realtor, your cousin's a realtor, your neighbor's a realtor, your friend's a realtor. Maybe they do it part-time. Maybe they sold a couple of houses. If they list your house and don't sell it, well, that's going to make Thanksgiving dinner really awkward, right? With Jaron James, you never have to worry about it because he guarantees he's going to sell your home, and he's got his communication guarantee. If at any point you're not thrilled with the level of communication or customer service, fire him. Let you out of the contract free and clear, no questions asked. And no one has ever taken Darren up on that because he's the best. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Jaron James.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off-season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
As a business owner, you're always focused on.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Number 2, thanks for hanging out with us here. A little LSU football talk coming up right after Sports Center. But first, Jordan has the honors. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, so Naz Reid, LSU basketball's Naz Reid, as he was traded today to the Charlotte Hornets, as the Timberwolves will now receive LaMelo Ball and Josh Green. And Naz Reid and the Hall of Draft Picks will go to the Charlotte Hornets. The draft picks going to the Hornets include Minnesota's 2033 unprotected first-round pick, 3 first-round pick swaps from 2028, 2029, to 2030, and 3 second-round picks 2029, 2032, and 2033. So next, Dylan Cruz, he went 0 for 4 with 1 run, 1 strikeout as the Nationals lost to the Phillies 5-4. He's batting on the season, .212. Aaron Nola, 5 innings pitched yesterday, 5 Ks, 3 hits, 2 earned runs as the Phillies beat the Nationals 5-4. Nola on the season has a 5.58 ERA with 82 Ks. Alex Bregman, he went 0 for 3 with 1 strikeout, 2 walks as the Cubs beat the Mets 10-5. And Bregman on the season, .224 average, 6 home runs, 25 RBIs. Gage Jump, my guy, lefty, 5 innings pitched last night, 9 Ks, 1 walk, 0 ERA as the A's ended up falling, to the A's, to the Giants 2-1. Jump on the season, 2 ERA, 35 Ks. And Grant Taylor, 1 inning pitch, 1 K, 2 hits as the Guardians beat the White Sox 4-3. And Angel Reese last night to wrap it up, she had 10 points with 12 rebounds with 4 assists and a steal. But the dream unfortunately fall to the Golden State Valkyries. So that's Tigers in the pros.
Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com. Remember, this is industrial Generac generator power. That's what you get at Arco Power Systems. Storm comes, power goes out. You know you got a standby generator for your house. What do you do for your business? That's where Arco comes in. Everything is turnkey. They sell, service, install, rent, industrial Generac generator power. Any type of business, commercial, industrial facility, government, municipalities, you want Arco. Home base in Baton, not far from where we are, just up the road in Airline Highway at I-12. East to Mobile, west to San Antonio, north to Little Rock. Draw a giant circle anywhere in that footprint. They got you at Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We're going to grab a quick break here. We'll get you caught up on national headlines from SportsCenter. Team USA an hour and 5 minutes. No, I'm sorry. The Dutch are an hour and 5 minutes away from playing in their soccer match in Kansas City, and I'm having major FOMO on that. And we will get you counting down to I'm late. We're counting down to Team USA playing at 6 o'clock.
AFR.
I totally blew right through that. My bad. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and that's sometimes the danger of being on remote when you're not like just staring at a clock. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. That's our friends over at South Point Volkswagen. As a matter of fact, literally, I mean, while Jordan was doing Tigers in the Pros, Brad Bove over at South Point texted me, how's everything working out with the cross sport? He's a business manager over at South Point. Helped me a few weeks back when I got traded in my old cross sport for the new 2026 cross sport. Look, you're going to get great customer service, but the thing about Volkswagens, we tell you about all the time, they're great vehicles. Great German engineering, manufactured here in the USA, highest safety designation you could possibly receive, southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Ever wonder why cane sauce doesn't come in a pre-sealed packet? It's because it's made fresh inside every Raising Cane's every single day. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning
Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. As part of the next labor deal with players, Major League Baseball wants a maximum contract length of 5 years for free agents who are switching teams, while an organization could sign its own player for up to 6 years, calling it a cornerstone provision. MLB also wants to raise the minimum salary from $780,000 to $1 million in 2027 for players with at least 2 years of service time. Anthony Edwards is going to have a ball on the court thanks to a new teammate. The Timberwolves are getting the co-star for Edwards they've been trying to land for years, acquiring guard LaMelo Ball as well as Josh Green from Charlotte for center Naz Reid and a series of picks, reports ESPN's Shams Charania.
I know internally in Minnesota, they really feel like LaMelo Ball is going to come in and take advantage of having Jaden McDaniels on the wing and Rudy Gobert at center. They love, you said his name, John Behringer. They love this kid. Yep. He's going to get a larger role next season.
WNBA suspended Phoenix's Alyssa Thomas 1 game for making contact with her fist to the throat of Indiana's Caitlin Clark in last night's game. She'll serve that suspension on Saturday when the Mercury's in Toronto.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We're here at Marucci Hitter's house in Baton Rouge, and we are thrilled to have you hanging out with us. Alondra's on site. Jordan and Paul are back in studio as we cruise through the penultimate day of this work week. A lot still to do. Hour away from the Dutch playing in Kansas City. The United States plays, not the United States play. The United States plays tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time. The game's out in L.A. at SoFi. So already advanced to the knockout stage. Look at me using soccer terms like pitch and kit and match and knockout stage and whatnot. Anyway, I do love to watch the U.S. whip up on foreigners, and we've got to do that a couple of times here in the World Cup. And let's see them get it done tonight against Turkey, eh? And what? That's their name, Turkey, eh? Turkey, eh? Why are you? That's their name. Alondra's making faces at me. And we'll see who they draw after that. All right, it's after further review. Something that is way more familiar to our audience here would be American football. Everyone roundly is naturally very excited about the coming LSU football season. Year one under Lane Kiffin and what it may bring. And we're into list season for college football, where every outlet puts their list at the top, that, the worst, that, the best, this, the worst. I don't really do lists. What I will look at oftentimes is the opinions of, for example, we talk about the Athlon Anonymous Coach Survey. When coaches anonymously give their opinion on other coaches, I think that's interesting to see what coaches will say when they're given anonymity about other coaches. I do like looking at objective data. So we'll look at things like FPI and other metric-driven things. What I'm not so much concerned with is a writer put his list of the top 10 players or whatever. Today I ran across one over at ESPN.com that I'm sure many of you have already seen, but ESPN asked a variety of college football general managers, player personnel directors, scouting directors, basically college football front office people to rank the best defensive players in college football. And then they took the numbers, how they got votes, and then listed them. So this isn't necessarily like one person's opinion listing the top players of college football. They asked GMs and player personnel directors and scouting directors, gave them a vote and said, who would you vote for as the best player defensively in college football? And some of them are names you've heard of. I mean, naturally, we're all going to look and go, okay, where's the LSU guys on the list, if any? They have Leonard Moore, the cornerback from Notre Dame, number 1. Colin Simmons, the edge from Texas, number 2. Dylan Stewart from South Carolina, number 3. Players that you know if you follow college football. Amari Washington, the defensive tackle from Oregon. They were a playoff team a year ago. Ahmad Moten, the defensive tackle from Miami, national runner-up a year ago at 5. And then they have an LSU player, number 6. And I was floored to see this. Not because I don't think the player is going to be awesome. I'm floored because this player's profile has so very clearly risen dramatically in a small amount of time, and I've probably given it away now, that it's Ty Benefield. So you're talking about a group of general managers, player personnel directors, scouting directors that are saying that LSU's safety, Ty Benefield, who transferred here from Boise State, is the 6th best player in college football going into this season defensively. Some of the quotes, an ACC general manager said, quote, "We've heard he's an absolute freak, and he was the best player on the field in the spring." An SEC director of player personnel said, quote, "LSU's best defensive player is their safety." A scouting staffer who faced Boise State a year ago said of Benefield, quote, "We really liked Ty. He's very physical, run-stopping safety. Not as good in coverage." Remember that for a second. Not as good in coverage, but he can come down and knock some heads off. So that should make you really excited. And my first thought is, like, I expected to see Whit Weeks, who was preseason first-team All-American a year ago. I expected maybe to see Prince Wilumon Mielen, who was all SEC. He was $1 million transfer. He had 9.5 sacks, double-digit TFLs for Ole Miss last year. Maybe DJ Pickett, who was the national true freshman of the year from On3 last year. But clearly, like, the secret is out on Ty Benefield. And I remember the day the portal opened, I was texting with a staff member the day the portal opened, and Benefield was one of their first visits. I mean, he might have been he was the second commitment. The first commitment was Jackson Harris, the receiver from Hawaii. And Benefield, I think, was the second commitment. They might have been the same day. But Benefield was like the first guy they went after. And the staffer told me, dude is a freak. He is the most impressive guy, and he is the only safety they targeted. Remember, they're replacing A.J. Halsey. So he's literally the only safety that they were targeting as a starter, right? They added Fahim Delane later as like a backup option, but this, like, they needed to replace Halsey. This was the guy, singular. They put all their eggs in that basket. By the way, Spencer Danielson, who is the Boise State head coach, this was Spencer Danielson last year talking about Ty Benefield.
Ty Benefield is one of the best football players we've had here in my 9 years at Boise State. Any side of the ball, period, end of story. One, because he has an NFL skill set. Long, can run, fit, like, yes. But he is an elite practice player. And that's what all the scouts, when we talk about him, and I'm like, just watch him practice. Watch him practice. We go to a walkthrough, Ty Benefield makes every tackle in a walkthrough, right? No plays off, how he trains, how he practices. He lives in that film room because he loves his team and he wants to be the best safety in the country. And I think he's putting on film that he's definitely one of those guys.
That was the Boise head coach. During spring, Lane Kiffin was asked about, like, what transfer players were standing out, and he rattled off the guys on the roster that were standing out. Listen.
His skill set is ultra elite, but so is his mindset, and that's really, really unique to have because they usually don't coincide. Ty, the safety, has it too, and Jordan seems to have it. If you were a scout out there watching, those three guys would stand out from a skill set of ultra elite.
That, by the way, he was talking about Trey'Dez Green. The question was about Trey'Dez, and then he mentioned Ty has it and Jordan Seaton. So Trey'Dez, Ty Benefield, Jordan Seaton were the three that Kiffin mentioned. And then we did get a chance during spring to talk to Ty Benefield, and there's a couple of things that I love. One, because remember I told you this quote from the scouting staffer who faced Boise a year ago said, he's a physical run-stopping safety, not as good in coverage, but he can come down and knock someone's heads off. This was Ty Benefield talking about being a hard hitter.
I've never been like, when I was younger, I was never a hitter. I started off as a quarterback. And, what's funny is that I always used to avoid contact. And really kind of what changed in my life was definitely, high school. I had some life-changing events, and it kind of shaped me to be the man I am today, but also helped me to really break down that barrier of contact. So every tackle that I approach is with relentless effort and knowing that I got to make this play for my teammates.
He's as impressive as he is physically. Like I posted at one of the, I posted this photo from one of the practices when Blake Baker was leading the defensive backs in a drill, and Ty Benefield took his rep and then he was standing next to Blake Baker. So I took the photo of the two of them, like just standing side by side. And Ty Benefield is like a head, neck, and shoulder taller than Blake Baker. Blake's not a small guy. Blake played linebacker collegiately at Tulane, and Ty Benefield towers over him. And when you talk about a guy that is that physically, that size, and then combines the physical ability, the skill set, the relentless effort, all the things, the intangibles, you can kind of like the secret's getting out about Ty Benefield clearly, and there's a couple of things. The other thing that player personnel staffer mentioned was not good in coverage. I want to remind you, if you look at Ty Benefield's Pro Football Focus grade over his 3 seasons in college, as a freshman, 66.2, pretty good. As a sophomore, up to a 70. This past year, 73.7. So Benefield has gotten better every year, but his coverage grade this season from PFF, in 25, his coverage grade only was a 79.2. The highest grade he's had. Now, as a sophomore, he had a slightly higher, like an 81 in pass rush, but that's just opportunity. But the point is that player personnel staff or scouting staff said not as good in coverage. Pro Football Focus would beg to differ. 2 more things about this briefly. One, I mentioned Ty Benefield standing next to Blake Baker. Benefield talked about the influence Blake Baker has been on him during his time at LSU.
Coach Baker has a similar approach to coaches that I've dealt with, in the past, and that's that coach that's hands-on and not afraid to, really, get in there and let you know how he feels and how it should be. Just a great coach who truly loves you. He's gonna get on you, but that's because he loves you, and that's how all the coaches, are. And I'm very excited to play under all these coaches.
They are going to make an awesome tandem this year. And the one other thought that I had, as I'm thinking about Benefield today, and we're going through and talking about all this. This is a guy who, when we talk about the portal and people not liking the transfer portal or NIL or whatever, Ty Bennett, you heard him say it. He was a high school quarterback. He started as a quarterback, had some life events, became a safety, but was a lightly regarded guy. He was a 3-star. He ends up at Boise State. Now, Boise's a good program, but coming out of high school, there's a different caliber of athlete that ends up at LSU that ends up at Boise State. But this is an example of the portal working. This is a guy who was a 3-star, lightly regarded, goes to Boise State, the Mountain West, for 3 years, plays well, gets better every year, and is able to parlay that instead of having to stay a 4th year at Boise State or going into the NFL draft maybe a year early. Now he gets to go play in the SEC, make money this year, put on for NFL scouts at a higher level, and maybe be a first-round or top half of round 1 pick, potentially. I mean, the one group they still got to convince, I think, are some NFL scouts. Matt Miller at ESPN has him as the 3rd best safety. Jordan Reed at ESPN has him as the 5th best safety for next year's draft. Don't be surprised if those numbers climb this season. Ty Benefield, I mean, he ain't no secret no more. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Concierge Nursing. We're at Marucci Hitter's house on Segan. Y'all come by. Remember, if you pop in, we got a few more hats left here on the table. Come on by and snag them. Totally free. Just walk in, say you were listening to us. We'll toss you a hat. We appreciate you for hanging out. Let me knock out a quick break, y'all. By the way, I mentioned earlier when if you were with us last hour when we very impromptu called Erica, I wanted to talk about Mason Taylor because there's an interesting storyline baked in with the Saints' offensive production or projection for this year that also dovetails in a little bit with Mason Taylor that I want to talk about. So we'll get to that. Stay here. It's AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Of course, if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. You can get Gordon and get it done. Always encourage you to start at the website. 2 ways you can call. You can you can go to the website, getgordon.com, or you can call 888-8888, and that's no matter where you are in Louisiana. 888-8888, 888-8888, or getgordon.com. Process is really easy. The first thing you'll do is you'll talk to one of their intake specialists, get some information, or if you'd rather, you can text with the little text chat bubble on the homepage of the website if you prefer to go about it that way. But there's offices all over the state of Louisiana, so no matter where you are, you don't have to travel. There's a local team of attorneys in your market that can help get you the damages that you are entitled to. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, you know what to do. Go to getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane,
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Man, it's so cool. We're here at Marucci Sports, at Marucci Hitter's house. And it's so cool because every wood bat Marucci makes is handcrafted right here. And you can actually step inside the wood shop where they make the bats that every major leaguer uses. And our buddy Chuck Bro, who's a really talented artist, he hand paints every custom bat for the big leaguers. So like on All-Star Weekend or Players Weekend, Chuck, hand paints every bat right here that gets shipped to the pros. It's such a cool thing to see that, to think of it. Actually, the first time we did a show here at Marucci Hitter's house, Chuck did an AFR custom cut. It was awesome. It's in my office at my house, but super generous. I mean, he's such a talented guy. But you just think about it, man. Like the average number of bats they cut here they cut on average 1,200 wooden bats here every single day. It's so cool, man. What a piece of baseball. It's such a what a gem in this town, man. If you live in Baton Rouge and you haven't been here, you gotta come do the tour and come see this place. It's just so. When we were here during the season, Oklahoma, the national champion Oklahoma Sooners, when they were here that weekend, they came and did the tour. We were doing the show here. I think it was that Thursday before the series, and those guys walked through here. Skip Johnson had his team here at Marucci touring the facility before their LSU series. Anyway, awesome. Great spot here. Y'all come see us here at Marucci Hitter's house. Start over. You're probably familiar with Bill Barnwell over at ESPN, and we've had Bill on the show plenty. And Bill's a guy that uses a lot of data to put together projections and all different sort of stuff. And he's got his, now that the draft is done, free agency is done, and the offseason work is done, he's got his tiered ranking of the best as he could, like their playmaker course. So basically the combination of your wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends, and he ranks them 1 to 32. And the criteria is it's about on-field performance projecting for this season, for 2026. Okay, it's not like what happened before, it's projecting for this year. So he looks at injuries, which certainly matter. Like, look at the Giants, for example, okay? Malik Neighbors is a magnificent player. We all know that. But he's coming off an injury, and there's real question about what Malik might be able to do this year coming off the ACL. They weight wide receivers more heavily than running backs and tight ends, and it's the top 5 contributors on the team, or the projected top 5 contributors, not like the 6 receivers, the 4 running backs, the 3 tight ends, all that sort of stuff. Well, like, for example, the worst team coming in 32nd in this metric is Miami. The Dolphins stink, and that shouldn't be a surprise. 31 is the Giants. A big part of that, obviously, is Malik Neighbors' injury. Cam Scattaboo has an ankle injury, all that sort of stuff. Cleveland, 30, you get it. I was surprised to see Buffalo at 29, just because they've been such a contender, but it goes to show you that maybe the talent around Josh Allen isn't awesome. Carolina, 28. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, 27. That's not a referendum on Jaden. Again, it's the receivers, the running backs, and the tight ends. Maybe even more of a hat tip to Jaden that he's had the success he has without great players around him. The Raiders, 26. I'm kind of expecting New Orleans to be somewhere in this range, right? I mean, they were 24th a year ago, and remember, that was a team that had Chris Olave with his injury history. But even a year ago, you had Rashid Shaheed as the season started. You had Brandon Cooks there and aging Kamara, and they were 24th, okay? So not super great. So I'm actually thinking, like, this is probably around, this is where the Saints were last year, probably be around, even though they've drafted Jordan Tyson and Olave had a good season. But what else would this look like? Titans 25th, Texans 24th, Broncos, Bucks, we're counting down, Steelers 21, Chiefs 20. I'm going, okay. Like, we, all of us, have talked a lot about the New Orleans players and the offensive skill they've added around Tyler Shuck. Obviously, Olave coming back. You bring in Travis Etienne. You drafted Jordan Tyson, some of the other receivers. And we've talked about this, but we live in a Saints bubble. Like, we follow the team closely. We care more. Like, what do the national people think? What do these metrics say? So I'm like, all right, well, you're climbing. Maybe 19. Nope, that's the Chargers. Jags at 18. Packers 17. Ravens 16. I'm going, Mike, Bears at 15. Colts at 14. Then you get to New Orleans at 13. Y'all, we have talked a lot this offseason about naturally Tyler Shuck, right, being able to take over as the unquestioned starter, and it's different from last year because at this point last year you had Shuck and Rattler and Haener that were all kind of battling for the job. Now it's Shuck's team. We know that. He started the last 9 games. He went 5-4, all the stuff. But they were very intentional, the Saints were, about going into this offseason and saying, yeah, you're not going to throw to Kevin Austin and Samare Toure anymore. Like, we're going to give you real options, which I love that. Like, yes, if you believe this guy is your franchise, invest in trying to let him maximize what he can be. So you draft Oscar Delp, and you draft Jordan Tyson, and you draft Bryce Lance, and you add Travis Etienne. And all of a sudden you look and you go, we think that's really good, but here's this metric at ESPN that has the Saints skill guys, effectively receivers, tight ends, running backs, going from 24th in the league last year to 13th. And if you want another piece of context around this, like the Seahawks and the Patriots, the 2 teams that played in the Super Bowl last year, Seattle's 11, New England's 10. So you're like nipping on the heels of the teams that played in the Super Bowl last year. I'm not saying, again, not saying the Saints are going to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they're a contender. I don't believe they are. I do think there's reasons, if you want to put that together in your mind, to suggest it can happen. Previously, we talked about second-year quarterbacks that had a giant run-up. Drake May was an example of it last year. Second year, goes to a Super Bowl. Burrow went to a Super Bowl in his second year. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl in his second year in the league. We can go through a long list from Kurt Warner and Tom Brady and all different types of examples of quarterbacks in year 2 that had a giant step up. And maybe that's Shuck, and they're in a bad division, which is very winnable, and they've added all this talent. So you can, if you want to convince yourself they're a contender, you can. I don't believe that necessarily. But what I am convincing myself of is Tyler Shuck is your best quarterback. You have undeniably improved the talent around him, including his offensive line. Last year, you were 9th in the NFL in total defense. And I don't think you're getting worse year 2 under Brandon Staley defensively. And your strength of schedule, based on your opponent's win-loss percentage a year ago, is 31st in the NFL. So you already had a good defense. You're playing one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. Quarterback in year 2, and you've given him a bunch of weapons. They won 6 games a year ago. Can 6-11 turn into 9-8? I think so. And if you're 9-8, you got a great job. I mean, Carolina won this division at 8-9 last year. If you go 9-8, can that win the division? Yeah. It doesn't mean you're a contender, but I certainly think this keeps pointing to all of the, be it objective or subjective evidence, continues to suggest the same thing. Like, in the same way that I sat here for 3 years and hammered into your brain about Derek Carr being mid. I'm not trying to unearth an old conversation, but we did the same exercise, and every piece of evidence, every quarterback tier ranking, when you looked at every piece of data, subjective or objective, everything said Derek Carr is low teens, high 20s starting quarterback. He's a starting quarterback, but he's not an elite starting quarterback in the NFL, which is why he was what he was throughout his career. People didn't want to accept that. Oh, he needed the right coaching. Oh, he's in a bad situation. Oh, it was the Raiders. Oh, he needed talent around. Like, whatever excuse you wanted, there was a large enough sample size to suggest what Derek Carr was. And what I'm telling you is we don't have the sample size yet with the Saints, with Tyler Shuck, but all of the evidence, the same evidence we used to try to tell you that Derek Carr was mid, which clearly turned out we were right, I'm telling you the Saints are pointed in the right direction. I think they can win the division this year. I really think that this can be a 9-win team that wins the NFC South and goes to the playoffs for the first time since the COVID year. Man, it'd be amazing to see. But by the way, a few other things that's worth noting. Atlanta is 4 on the list, and they've invested a lot in the draft in their skill positions. They're 4. And Cincinnati is 3. And Joe Burrow said it earlier this week in an interview where he said this team reminds him in the offseason of how he felt in 2019 with LSU. And I told you this because he made those comments at media days that year where people laughed at him. He said, I think we can score 45, 50 points a game. And everybody laughed because it was LSU. And remember, in that era, LSU didn't score points. It was before LSU started scoring points. And I'll be damned, they became the greatest team in the history of college football. You got a healthy Joe Burrow. If you got that much talent offensively, they fixed their offensive line. The big question about Cincinnati, can Burrow stay healthy? Can they play defense? If so, you might be looking at a Super Bowl contender out of the AFC. Okay. It's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Success starts long before Saturday nights in Tiger Stadium. In the offseason, in recovery, in the work that happens between games and seasons. That's why LSU football head coach Lane Kiffin and players like Sam Levitt, Whit Weeks, Trey Green, Jordan Seaton trust FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, with their health care. And that trust is backed by a health system that is growing, thriving, serving communities across Louisiana and Mississippi with more than 20,000 team members and a $5 billion network of care. FMOL Health has earned national recognition for quality. They've gotten 2 exceptional workplace awards from Gallup, and they continue to invest in the people and the communities that they serve. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU together, we roar. Learn more at fmolhealth.org/LSU. All right, y'all, we are cruising along here in hour number 3. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We're going to knock out a break. Jimmy will be here in 15 minutes for Otter Locks. We look forward to that conversation as always, as we'll find out what we're betting on tonight. When we come back, let's do a quick thumbnail on the U.S. and Türkiye on the pitch tonight in the World Cup. But also, I do want to get that Mason Taylor story in before we're done. It does sort of dovetail to what we're just talking about with the New Orleans Saints. We're going to get to that. Stay here. It's AFR from Marucci Hitter's House.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. As a matter of fact, Seagan near Airline is like right there. I mean, you walk out the front door of Marucci and just take like a quarter turn, maybe like an eighth of a turn, like toward 2 o'clock, and then boom, you're looking at Clegg's right there. You can pop on in, see all the beautiful flowers they have. There's lantanas, $7.99 a gallon. You're saving on those right now at Clegg's Nursery. They have sun patens. I don't know if I'm saying that right. All I know is that they're beautiful, beautiful selection of flowers, full greenhouses, all the flowers and plants and trees and shrubs that you need. A super helpful staff over at Clegg's Nursery of Horticulturists that can help you with whatever you got going on, whatever project you have. And if you need mulch or soil, bag, bulk, or the things to keep pests away, they can help you at Clegg's Nursery. So buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Hey everybody, Drew Brees here. Over the years, I've learned that the best teams are built on trust, preparation, and doing things the right way. That's one of the reasons I'm excited to announce that the Breeze Dream Foundation and I are partnering with Parish Construction and Roofing. Together, we are committed to helping families prepare for hurricane season. That's why Parish Construction and Roofing, the Breeze Dream Foundation, and WAFB are partnering to provide one capital area family with a brand new fortified roof. Visit WAFB.com/contest to enter the giveaway and view official rules and eligibility requirements. Because stronger homes build stronger communities.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Hitter's House, awesome spot. We love the opportunity to come by once a month when we get to hang out here on Seagan near Airline. You can't miss it. Come by and see us. Pop on in or learn more at hittershouse.com. Hittershouse.com. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette. Find the Hitter's House near you. Hittershouse.com. We just a bit ago talked about that Bill Barnwell piece over at ESPN where he blends a lot of data to rank going into this season the best skill position groups, the playmakers, right? So running backs, receivers, tight ends. And I told you they've got the Saints at 13 on that list. And 10 is New England, 11 Seattle. I mean, those are the two teams that played in the Super Bowl a year ago. Well, the team between New Orleans at 13 and then Seattle, New England, at 12 is the New York Jets. And it was interesting that I saw that because today I ran across an interview that former LSU tight end Mason Taylor did with the Jets website, right? So the Jets content team that was over at the Jets website. And so remember, the Jets drafted Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon this year with their first-round pick. So a year ago, they used a second-round pick on Mason Taylor, and then they used their first-round pick on a tight end again. And so the thought from a lot of people is that bad news for Mason Taylor? Because, I mean, he was a top 50 pick, and then the next year they used a first-round pick on a tight end. And Taylor had a good rookie year. I mean, he played in 13 games. He had a little bit of an injury problem, so he missed 4 games with injury, but played in 13 games, caught 44 balls for 369 yards and a score, a good, solid rookie year. Well, it's interesting because he's going to New York, and they've hired Frank Reich as their offensive coordinator. And so Mason Taylor said this, quote, "Everyone's going to have their role, and I just think it's going to be really exciting because we're going to be unstoppable. Actually, because there's so many options. And if you want to shut down the tight ends, then there's Garrett and the receivers." And so he talked about in Frank Reich's offense how Frank Reich has used tight ends, plural, in the past. And when I went and looked it up, it's actually true. Frank Reich, as you might remember, was the offensive coordinator in Philly when they won the Super Bowl in 2013. There was the Nick Foles team. Well, they had Zach Ertz, who was their all-everything tight end, but they also had Trey Burton. Of course, Trey Burton from the Philly Special. So they had 2. Now, Frank Reich also had Antonio Gates in San Diego with the Chargers, who's a Hall of Famer and arguably the greatest tight end ever. I said arguably, but he's in the mix. And then when Reich was in Indy, he had Eric Ebron, and he had Jack Doyle. If you remember, Jack Doyle made a Pro Bowl in Indy under Frank Reich while he was there with Eric Ebron. So there have been those times where Reich utilizes the tight ends and utilizes multiple tight ends in the same offense. So that was one that was interesting. Now, look, I guess the difference with the Jets and, say, the Saints or even the Patriots or Seattle is the Jets don't have the quarterback. That they have the skill guys. They've got Garrett Wilson, and they drafted Omar Cooper, and they returned Mason Taylor, and they drafted Kenyon Sadiq, and they've got Breece Hall. So yes, the Jets have a lot of really talented offensive players, and their head coach is Aaron Glenn, who's a defensive-minded guy, and you would assume will get that defense playing well. But what they don't have is the quarterback. They've got Geno Smith, who last year had started 15 games for the Raiders, and they went 2-13 in his starts. I mean, as evidence of the fact that he's no longer there, they went and drafted Mendoza and brought in Kirk Cousins as well. So I would take Tyler Shuck over Geno Smith. It's not to say I think Shuck is established today as an awesome quarterback. What I think is true is Shuck has a great skill set and a higher upside that is just untapped right now. We know what Geno Smith is, and he's at the end of his career, and he was 2-13 as a starter a year ago in Las Vegas with the Raiders. And that was with a a top 5 pick at running back, and with a top 15 pick at tight end, and good skill guys around him. So that's what makes me question if the Jets offense will actually get going, even with Frank Reich calling the plays and Garrett Wilson and Omar Cooper and Mason Taylor and Kenyon Sadiq and Breece Hall. And this isn't a Jets show. I know you get, unfortunately, Jets talk crammed down your mouth if you ever, or down your throat if you ever listen to any of the national shows, because they cater so much to the New York and LA markets. But it is interesting here because it's Mason Taylor, and Mason Taylor is a great former Tiger, and I think everyone wants to see him do well. He's responsible for one of the greatest moments in LSU football history, the overtime 2-point conversion against Bama in 22, as we remember. And he had a good rookie year, but it did raise a lot of questions when, after his rookie year, the Jets use a first-round pick on a player at the same position. So how does Frank Reich use both Mason Taylor and Kenyon Sadiq? It'll be fascinating to watch, but we wish Mason Taylor good health and lots of luck this year with the JETS Jets. All right, it's after further review, y'all. Always love telling you. Oh, let me remind you real quick, Parish Construction and Roofing. Real quick. We do a lot of giveaways. We've given away $5,000, we've given away $10,000, we've given away $25,000, and now with our new partnership with Drew Brees, as we announced last week, who's joined Paris Construction and Roofing, not as an endorser, but as an equity partner in our company, and we're fired up about having Drew Brees on board. We are giving away 2 fortified roofs, one in the greater Baton Rouge area, one in the greater New Orleans area. If you're interested in learning more or registering to win, all you have to do is go to our website, parishbuilt.com, You'll see right on the homepage, there's a video of Drew, and right under it, there's 2 different icons. It's for New Orleans and for Baton Rouge. So click the link at parishbuilt.com to enter to win a fortified roof. Totally free, courtesy of Parish Construction and Roofing. Parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. That's us and Drew Brees. parishbuilt.com. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. I was looking at the odds. Jimmy's going to be here in just a minute. I was looking at the odds for the United States against Türkiye in the soccer match tonight. Again, 9 o'clock local time, 9 o'clock kick here Central Time. It's 7 o'clock local in L.A. where they're playing, or in Inglewood. The Americans are a plus 310 favorite. Wait, did I get that right? Or is Turkey? No, I'm sorry. Is the U.S. Is it an under? Are the U.S. an underdog in this match? No, I'm sorry. The U.S. No. The U.S. are the visitors in this game. So that's what had me confused. The U.S. are the visitors. So the U.S. are minus $1.25 favorite. Türkiye is a plus 310 underdog. The draw is plus 320. So the U.S. are a favorite. We'll see who plays in the match tonight. Of course, they've already advanced to the knockout stage. If the United States has never won their first 2 games of the World Cup, they certainly have never won their first 3 games of the World Cup, so they can certainly embark in uncharted territory tonight if they're able to beat Türkiye. Why do you keep shaking your head at me? I say it's Turkey. They said they want to go by Türkiye, so I'm calling them Türkiye. I'm just choosing to pause like I'm from Canada. It's Türkiye. It's after further review. We're here at Marucci's Hitter's House, and we're glad you're hanging out. All right, final break. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks. We'll wrap it up next. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, we're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance, Southtown. You know, Watermark Baton Rouge is what a beautiful piece of history in our town. If you've never been in Watermark Baton Rouge, highly recommend. Just find an excuse to go. It's the old Louisiana National Bank building. It's on the corner of Convention and 3rd. As I learned, that was actually the first Baton Rouge office of the Guarantee Corporation. So beautiful historic building in downtown, and they've maintained so much of the historical integrity while adding modern amenities to it, and they've created this beautiful luxury hotel. So if you need a place to stay, maybe a little staycation, stay in downtown Baton Rouge. Enjoy some of the restaurants, walk, sightsee the historical sites in downtown. Great way. Or if maybe you're out of town, or you know people who are coming in town for maybe a football game, they're planning that trip already, make sure they book a room at Watermark Baton Rouge. Downtown, it's Watermark Baton Rouge.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Go.
For less money. It's what we tell you about all the time at Insurance Network of Louisiana. This process is easy. I've used Insurance Network of Louisiana for, I don't know, more than a decade now. You call, they will shop independently for free to find you better insurance coverage for less money. Home, auto, umbrella, flood, business insurance. Listen, if they shop and don't find it better coverage for you, great, stick with what you got. And maybe sometimes that's the answer. Maybe they tell you, hey, what you got's good, stay with it. But you won't know until you call and let them shop it again. It's totally free to have them shop. It's Insurance Network of Louisiana. Check them out online at lainsurance.net, lainsurance.net. It's Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call or log on to lainsurance.net.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. One thing left to do, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's up, Matthew?
Another day, another dollar. Some World Cup tonight.
Yeah.
The U.S. and Turkey, eh?
Yes, they've been so bad they've just been reduced to Turkey. They lost a syllable along the way. So they really are. They were Max was filling me in. He was saying that basically if it was on neutral field, if the U.S. wasn't playing on home soil, they would probably be the favorite of the group, and they are 0-2. So playing for a lot of pride. This is a basic. Well, we were at the DraftKings Sportsbook today, the Valleys. Man, that is a nice facility to watch the soccer tonight, and has been for the entire tournament. But all the U.S. But this is week 17, week 18, if you will, of the NFL. Your team has the division locked up. Their seeding is set. They have nothing to gain. There's no advantage to winning or losing. It's predetermined. And the other team done for the season. They're playing for pride. And that's what we have tonight. So you know that they're sitting the 4 guys with the yellow cards, not to risk anything there. Pulisic is probably going to play limited minutes. Sure, he'll play, but I don't know about the whole time coming off an injury. And who else will get the time? So it's going to be, what coaches like to play more of their starters. It's almost like an exhibition game also, where they're going to play maybe limited minutes. You also got to wonder how, risk of injury, not going all out. All this boils up to, man, this is we're going to go with the draw, plus 310. So Turkey, USA, 3-way draw, plus 310. That was available earlier when we were at the DraftKings Sportsbook at Bally's. Cubbies have been good to us as of late. They've been pounding the Mets pitching. Peralta has been a disappointment, like the entire roster for the New York Mets. Matthew Boyd is coming off the IL for the Cubs. His last pitch, May 3rd. Cubs strike rate 112 is what it was when we put it in earlier. So we're going to ride the hot bats. It's a real thing. So we're going to take the Cubbies and basically a pick 'em at Citi Field.
Better price right now, minus $1.02 on the Cubs.
Oh, there you go. And then Boston and the Yankees, remember when they used to just play these 4-hour games and 10 to 9?
Yes, I do. Yes,
anymore.
I do remember. Yes, I do.
No Judge, and Boston's lineup is just punchless. So, and Schlittler is the American League leader for the Cy Young Award right now. I'm going to go under 8 in the Red Sox-Yankees game, the first of 4 this weekend. Is a little 4-game series in the American League East.
All right, so we got a 3-pack, 2 games on the dime in the Cubs, and then the Yankees-Red Sox under, and then on the pitch, as they like to say, with the USA and Türkiye A. We're calling for the draw at plus 310. It's a good number. And by the way, it's at plus 320 right now. So actually getting a little bit better price there as well on the draw over at DraftKings. Hey, before you go, I always say whenever you hang up and I have to do the Williamson Eye Center live read that I'm a client, so are you, a patient of Dr. Blake's. Would you please share briefly your experience with Dr. Blake?
I used to have about 20 to 25 pairs of readers scattered from the bed to the car to the backpack to my sponsors, and I have not pulled a pair of readers. And what happens is you become more dependent on them, and you got to go up and you keep trying. And as you increase the potency of the readers, your eyes are getting worse and worse. After that, I have not picked up a pair of readers. She said, "How long has that been? 8 years or so?"
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how much, but and when I go back to my follow up, and Dr. Blake says, how many times you read? I said, I'm not using readers again. I'm not doing that. So I said, if it's ever a little time where the print was a little small, I just use a little bit more light. And that's it. And it's been awesome. Really, really. One eye one morning, the other eye the next. It was like a laser show. Not a whole lot. A lot of eye drops.
Yeah.
A lot of eye drops. And man, I see some of my colleagues now who are catching up with me in age, and they're reaching for those readers. The same thing. It's a life changer. I mean, for me, it's really good.
It's life changing, man. I can't. I'll never see you use the flashlight on your phone with the readers on the end of your nose at Bistro Nico again when you order us the cockaboo.
Cocoman. So, yes.
Hey, tomorrow, Friday at Rufino's.
Absolutely, man. The place is buzzing. It was such a nice deal. I don't want to be repetitive, but we will certainly recap and fill in any little pieces, because that was a special, very, very well done. I mean, I don't know anything that we'd have adjusted how they handled it. So celebration of, and that's the theme. To continue the theme, celebration of Ruffin with celebration, and that is their theme since he left. And listen, people still ask me today, Matt, how's the restaurant doing? You're there. Yeah. They are rolling. Yeah. They're rolling. That's awesome. So, Howard, Chef Patrick, Megan, they are all, Allison, they're really, really rolling. So we enjoy it. It's been since January 2012, every Friday at Rufino's.
All right, man. We'll look for you tomorrow. Thank you.
And we got next Friday off because July 3rd.
Yep.
And so it's a holiday for the 4th. So
thank you,
this will
Otter.
be
Good luck tonight.
Okay, good luck.
All right,
Bye.
so Jimmy's got his 3-pack, including call for the draw in the U.S. against Turkey. You got nothing? Can you give me at least one?
What, am I supposed to say A?
Yeah.
Okay, say it.
The U.S. against Turkey.
A. So stupid.
I know, it's so good though, isn't it? All right, that's about to do it for us here on this Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We appreciate Blasia and her great staff as always. And of course, we're here at Marucci Hitter's House, and we appreciate the folks here for opening their doors. Let us bother them for 3 hours. Man, we love coming here to Hitter's House. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about First South Farm Credit. If you are thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. The old website still works, but they basically try to make things a little bit easier just by going to FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Just spell it out, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. I've said it for years. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, because since 1913, it's the one thing they've done, is they help Louisianians buy land. It's that easy. When you do one thing for more than 100 years, you get pretty good at it. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Buying land is different than buying a home. There's just different things when you talk about zoning or rates or all different types of stuff when it comes to buying timber property. If it's a recreational property, if it's your hunting property, maybe it's something you're thinking about as an investment to help during tax season. Talk to your CPA. See if owning land could help. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Online, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Hey, it's
Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them